Good Thursday morning, one. Good Thursday morning, all. Welcome to No Rest Holds for the Weary, episode 9 here on Brave New Radio. It's so good to be here this morning with y'all. Still cold, though. Can't really get into that too well.
Yeah, this is spring.
Yeah, believe it or not. I'm Dante Vacatoro. Right now we have Stephen Clark and Jesse Norman here. Samoy Rose, man who is 10 minutes away from being 10 minutes away. Our good friend. He'll be here. He'll be here talking some wrestling with us. Huge week for the World Wrestling Federation on television. We're going to get into SmackDown, get into Raw, get into NXT, and we have an NXT-centric Top 5 Thursdays for you in the second hour. Fellas, let's start off with this. How are you this week?
I'm fantastic. I feel good. You know, a good week of wrestling. A lot of news happened.
A lot of stuff
happened. I'm excited for Mania. I don't know about you guys, but these shows this week got me really excited for Mania.
I've been excited for Mania for like a year. So.
Yeah. Ever since it was announced being in the area. Yeah, I agree.
Jesse?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
That's
a little
good.
Cold out, but you know, got to do what you got to do.
I've got a little bit of a humble brag here. At the radio meeting on Tuesday, I was awarded DJ of the Month for specialty shows. Yeah, thank you. Which means, of all the specialty shows on the great Brave New Radio, I'm your best host. But I can't be the best host without the best crew that we have here each and every week.
Oh, yeah, and didn't I win another mug?
No, just Justin did.
Oh, just Justin did?
Yeah, he took it for himself.
That's fine. I already have a mug.
Yeah, so.
I don't have a mug.
You got to be DJ of the month.
Yeah,
sorry,
man.
Steven.
It's my first semester doing this. Yeah, you're right.
So for all of you who are sitting on the toilet at home or at your place of business and listening to us, thank you, because you make us what we are, and what we are is the hottest show here on Brave New Radio. But that's it. That's all I have to say about that. Let's get into SmackDown. Usually we do Raw first because chronological order and my OCD kind of fit together. But SmackDown was a show. SmackDown showed up and showed out. Let's get the elephant out of the room now. Charlotte Flair is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. She beat Asuka. Before going into the show, they announced a 4-way number 1 contenders match for Asuka's title at Mania.
And they were promoting it.
They were promoting it up until the
like
show.
5 o'clock. The last thing I seen was 5 o'clock. I believe it was Carmella.
There were ads on the USA Network at 6:30 p.m. still advertising that match. And it wasn't until Tom Phillips did his SmackDown Live at the top of the hour hit at 7:45 that they didn't advertise that match.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And they just came in.
Subject to change.
Yeah, you're right.
So, shall we fight? How do y'all feel about Charlotte Flair winning the title?
I'll go first. I love it. I am all for it. It adds to the match, in my opinion. Yes, I hear things online. People don't like it. Yes, I agree Asuka deserves better. But for this situation, for this match, adding more to this first ever women's main event at WrestleMania, it adds to it. Jesse, your thoughts?
I mean, it's fine.
Ooh.
I wish they would have done it sooner. Or not
earlier on.
Maybe done this at Fastlane or something. I just don't like the whole 2 weeks out before Mania, because now everybody's like, oh, well, what's the match going to be? Is it 2 out of 3 falls? Is it a unification match? And now they only have 1 week to clear that up and 1 week to incorporate this into the story. I get the whole Asuka deserves better thing, but at this point, and I mean, this is kind of sad, WWE has made me not care about Asuka. So when Charlotte beat Asuka, I was just like, yeah, that seems like something they would do. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. I really don't see the huge problem with it. I just wish they would have done it earlier on, because right now I'm not seeing this adding any fuel to the fire 2 weeks out from Mania when it was been so hot and cold. I just don't think this was the thing to turn it hot again.
Charlotte's in her Triple H mode right now. The match was good. That's all I care about. I don't know what they're doing with it.
I can tell you what they're doing with it.
Yeah, me too. I can tell you guys.
All y'all have been complaining.
Oh, no,
Charlotte,
I'm not complaining.
that Charlotte Flair doesn't deserve to be in this match at Mania.
Said that.
And they completely addressed that. Becky said, Ronda brings the title. I bring the people. What does Charlotte bring? Why is she even in the match? And she went out there and she proved why she should be in the match.
Yeah.
To address the fact, is it going to be unification? Is it going to be two out of three falls?
It
No.
can't be unification.
I think
because the Fox
It
deal,
shouldn't be. It
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
exactly.
The Fox, like everybody likes to think about, like, oh, is the brand split gone? Like,
No,
a lot of
Fox
people-
doesn't want USA Network talent on their
can't
show.
be. Like,
Yeah.
Fox Network has said we want a group
Our own
of
show,
guys,
yeah.
and that is our guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is how it should be.
yeah.
I agree.
If it's a brand split and SmackDown's bought by Fox and USA Network's owned by, I'm pretty sure
NBC.
NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to have the same
They're
talent
not
on.
going to have the same talent on. Like,
No.
they're not getting rid of this brand split.
No.
Good.
And the people who are like, ooh, they could do a Benoit Angle Jericho-esque triple threat where one falls for one title, one falls. It's not about the titles. This story has never been about the titles. It's about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has been the star of this story since she was rumored to be in this match.
Yeah.
And they're spoon feeding you her coronation. She's not only going to beat the biggest mainstream star in the history of women's athletics,
And she's going to beat the best
She's
women's
go-
wrestler ever.
she's going to beat the best homegrown talent ever. Both of them are champions, and she's the underdog here, and she's going to beat them.
The one thing I'll say about Charlotte, people might not like how they book her, but she's actually the best.
Such a
Oh,
good
yeah.
big match
She's the
wrestler.
best.
Yeah.
I'd say
And-
greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In women.
She's the best, and it's no debate. I don't want to hear anything from anybody.
Better than Trish, better than China, better than Lita.
Well, I think
Way better than China.
I think
I
it's
watched-
because
China's not good. That's right.
I watched WrestleMania 17 over the weekend
Oh,
with my
God.
buddies.
Oh.
That China Ivory match was rough to get through. But that, anywho,
yeah.
Charlotte's the
Charlotte
best.
Flair's better.
And Charlotte is the best, but also I think that's why so many people have a problem with her because she's the best, but she's also very clearly should be a heel.
That's what she's
and
doing.
now she's doing that now,
Which
but
is-
like for over the past
Since she went to
8 years,
SmackDown for the first
Yeah,
time,
her
she
first
was a
run.
babyface.
in the beginning of her first run.
In 2017.
yeah, and like Charlotte Flair babyface just doesn't work.
No.
yeah.
It's not a good character, and I think that's what a lot of people soured on, and then they turn that into Charlotte Flair's not good, which has
Right.
never been true
Right.
in under any circumstance.
The match was really good, though.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from if you say like Asuka deserves better or whatever. But again, the expense of trying to make this match as big as it possibly can, stuff happens.
The only issue I have is that she tapped. I don't like that.
But now they're establishing that figure eight's her kryptonite.
Yeah,
Because she
'cause she
tapped at
tapped at
Mania
Mania.
and she tapped there.
That's like with Becky Lynch. Like Becky Lynch, yeah, she's the man, but she tapped.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But the kryptonite, that makes sense. But yeah, Asuka, she shouldn't tap.
I was reading a hashtag on Twitter about this, and I was just going through it. It was hashtag Justice for Asuka, as if she had like some civil rights injustice upon her. She lost a fake wrestling match. It's gonna be fine. People are like, oh, they don't know how to book her or whatever. She had a 2+ year undefeated streak. She's the longest reigning women's champion in the history of modern professional wrestling. Multiple championship reigns.
My only argument with that is, has WWE not established that NXT is different than main card?
They're starting to bring it up now, though.
They're starting
Partially.
to sort
Partially.
of. But when Gargano and Ciampa came up, it was like, oh, these guys are best friends and never had a problem.
Basically.
No, they acknowledged the fact that they were. Michael Cole had a whole 2-minute spiel on commentary where he talked about the things that Gargano and Ciampa
No
went
wonder
through.
I forgot it.
Because Michael Cole is
Come
just
on, man.
No wonder.
he's just blank noise. The only thing I would argue is NXT and main card continuity wise don't match up very often. So that's why I think people are like, they're booking Asuka wrong or they don't know how to, is because since NXT, besides her winning the Rumble and that little, 2-month span, 3-month span there, I don't really know what they have done good with Asuka. They put her on a tag team with Naomi for a little bit and then pulled her from it and then put Carmelo in.
That tag team got her on the Super Showdown card.
Oh, I would have
That's a
rather
good
just
thing.
nobody
Like
been
that
on the
showdown.
Super Showdown.
She wrestled in a 70,000 seat gate. Like, how is that not a big deal?
That's like saying Drake sells 600K first week and the album was trash.
Yeah.
Still made money. Still chased that bag.
But that doesn't change the fact that they don't book her right. I mean, her getting paid doesn't just solve like, oh, well, you know, Asuka's been booked pretty terribly. She lost to Carmella twice.
Yeah, but
James
she didn't lose-
Ellsworth.
James
She didn't
Ellsworth.
lose clean to Carmella. It was always some sort of Ellsworth thing that went on.
He still lost, though.
She did lose to Mandy Rose, though.
Clean.
Mandy
No,
Rose
that
is the
wasn't
greatest of all time, so
Is that your inner Corey Graves? In your Dante?
not necessarily.
I mean, clearly WWE doesn't think she's the greatest of all time. They even
Listen,
took her out of her
I know.
WrestleMania match. She was gonna be in.
I was real excited for this Mandy Sonya triple threat, but they're going to
too.
have some interaction in the Lady Battle Royal, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so what's going to happen with Asuka?
Lady
Battle
Battle Royal.
Yeah.
She's a favorite in that. That's fine.
What a shame.
She's on the card still.
Listen.
let her
Yeah,
rock.
she's still on the card. What a shame.
She's not special anymore.
No,
It
she's
doesn't
not.
matter,
She's not.
special or not.
I don't know.
If people if everyone's special, then no one's special.
Yeah,
No, but not everybody was special. Asuka was special. There's
was.
she was
She
special.
doesn't have to be special.
She
all
doesn't
the time.
have to be, but it's
The-
sure
the-
damn good if she is.
The beauty with the way WWE handles their shows now is that you could heat anyone up like that.
Look at Kofi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
You're
New
right.
Day were just kind of doing feuds all of 2018, and now Kofi's winning the WWE title at WrestleMania. So it's going to be fine. Asuka versus Charlotte is being advertised right now for house shows post-Mania. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the direction that they go. On Instagram, on WWE's Instagram, they took the tweet where Asuka just said over and said, "Is it truly?" as the caption. So maybe they're teasing like a retirement thing where she comes back better than ever or something like that. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
I miss.
I still
Asuka.
think that should.
Was she ever a heel?
Yeah.
Oh, with the Ember Moon
Yeah.
situation?
NXT. Oh, yeah.
Heel Asuka was good.
Yeah.
But she was such a good heel that they had to move her up as a
I
face because there's
know.
no way she was going to get booed.
Mm.
That's Asuka and Charlotte should be a WrestleMania match, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, can't do nothing about it.
No.
No, it shouldn't be a WrestleMania match. AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle.
Hey,
Big-
it's not.
I'm okay with this.
Big man look bad out
That-
there.
It wasn't.
I'm okay.
It wasn't that bad. The interaction was good until like that botched angles.
Oh my god.
Kurt Angle did not have a good back-to-back outing there.
No,
All
no.
y'all wanted him to do freaking moonsaults against John Cena at Mania.
He's saving it for Mania. He's saving it for Mania.
Save a what for Mania? He
All
can
that he got
barely
left.
breathe.
Oh.
I mean, we'll get into it with Raw, but his match with Joe, he looked
I was okay
past
with
his
the match
years.
with Joe.
It was a good match, but he looked past his years.
Yeah, he's past his years. How old is he? That's why he's retiring in a week
they,
or two.
They teased us. We thought we were gonna get like a 5-minute like whatever.
Sprint, yeah, and
And then Randy Orton just comes out of nowhere, whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay. That builds for AJ and Randy.
I'm okay with
and that's
that,
fine.
too.
And that's fine by me.
yeah,
Kurt's an old man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt's just old.
He's a broken old man, as I call myself, and he's worse than me. He's like 1,000 times worse than me.
And you're like 30 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corbin is the best choice for this angle.
For this angle.
All y'all, I'm convinced that people who want to see Kurt Angle like actually wrestle a match want him to die. Because
That's called going out in your back, man.
any
You saw how
big-
Ric Flair went out?
That's why I want.
Kurt Angle's not as old as Ric Flair.
Exactly. So
So
Kurt Angle's not going to take a bump in this match against Corbin.
yes, he is.
No, he's not. It's going to be a quick thing. Listen, I was right about this Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan thing like 3 months ago. You got to believe me for something here.
But what in the world is John Cena doing at WrestleMania?
Nothing.
He has to be on the card.
He might come out and congratulate Angle, but that's going to be
And
it.
then AA Angle on the spot.
If he AA's Angle, Angle's neck's broken.
Well, he'll hold.
Wait,
his
what?
neck.
How, but it wouldn't the end of days also kill Angle?
No, because Corbin takes most of that on his back. Angle kind of
Yeah.
lands on Corbin's stomach.
I don't trust Angle to take that. I feel like he might just like
Because he's not
he
going to
might
take the
throw
end of
himself
days. That's the
forward.
thing. He's not going to take any moves.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. There is a Reddit post that's really bad. There's like, oh, is Angle retiring just a way for him to go to AEW and have a good send-off with Kenny Omega? It's like if he takes a one-winged angel, he's paralyzed from the neck down. There's no way he comes
Probably
back.
is.
Yeah. Especially if he wrestles a long match like Omega would
And if
want.
Omega does it like quick, how he does it quickly, it might be a wrap.
Lights out.
Might be a wrap for
Well,
him.
people think Angle's still on that level that he was 3 years ago before he came back to WWE. 3 years is a long time.
People thought Angle was going to retire in 2006.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no. I saw a good tweet about this. People thought Angle's last match was going to be WrestleMania 19 with Brock.
Because he broke his neck.
It's WrestleMania 35 next week.
Yeah.
So we're not getting the same angle that we were going to ever get.
That's okay.
Also on SmackDown, Miz and Shane got turned into a Falls Count Anywhere match, presumably so Shane McMahon could jump off the stage. How do y'all feel?
Whatever.
That's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
It,
I don't. Yeah.
just I wonder how high and what is he gonna jump off?
Yeah.
I hope it's like where all the lights are and all that stuff, like above the ring. If they have a crash pad, hey, I don't care.
Look, I like Shane McMahon because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
That's the best thing
Yeah.
about Shane McMahon. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And also,
I like him as a heel.
He's really good.
He's
yeah,
fire as a heel. I
yeah.
love it.
And also, Primo and Sanity were on
Yeah.
SmackDown. So
Primo with his biannual on TV paycheck.
And they got buried by the Miz.
is Epico still hurt?
I don't know, man.
Who cares?
I actually think Primo and Epico work for Carlos Colon's promotion in Puerto Rico sometimes. So like when they're not on TV, they're sometimes working Puerto Rico.
When they're not
on TV.
51
So all
weeks
the
of
time.
the year.
Yeah, so like all the time.
Primo's my pick to win the Battle Royal.
They got to heat him up somehow.
You're right.
Killian Dane was wondering where's Sanity. They were there. He didn't have his like weird singlet thing
Good.
anymore. He had his just like actual like trunks,
Good.
which was cool. Eric Young looks like World Elite. Eric Young from 2009.
Jeez, he needs it.
Y'all
back.
remember World Elite?
I do.
It was really good.
I loved World Elite. Yeah.
He needs it back. He needs his beard back.
Yeah, he looks like a baby.
He does.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not intimidating.
Yeah.
Like the scruffy old beard, I need that. But
Shane's promo though on Miz where he's like,
Good.
your father is ugly. And
Like,
the
it's like,
biggest
I have all these camera angles.
and the biggest mistake he ever had was
good.
impregnating your mother. It's like, wow.
that's so good.
That's probably something I shouldn't say on the radio at 6:17 or 7:17 or whatever. But it's what happened. I'm just reporting fact here. Yeah, I'm really excited for Miz and Shane. This is the big Miz match that I was hoping for like 2 years ago. I wish if we could go back and re-fantasy book like brand split era SmackDown from like 2016, I would make AJ Miz the title program for Mania. Babyface AJ, heel Miz, because Miz was the hottest stacked on SmackDown at
Of
that
course.
point.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him finally get like that big match. Not that last year's IC title match wasn't big because that was one of the best matches at WrestleMania that year.
Arguably the best.
at WrestleMania last year.
Top two, I would argue.
yeah.
Yeah, with Ronda. and
Yeah.
everything.
Ronda one.
But this is a big moment for Miz, and I'm happy.
The 33 was supposed to be big, but then he got squashed. Him and his wife got squashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it sucks because Cena and Nikki didn't end up being married anyway. Like if
So
if
it
ended,
it didn't amount to nothing.
if it ended in marriage, like I'd be like, okay, at least something good came out of it. But it's like, nah.
A
John
year
Cena
later,
didn't
they
want
called it.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy's weird.
yeah.
I love John.
The Bella Twins podcast, just to go off topic a little bit, it debuted this week, #1 on some iTunes podcast charts.
I'm not listening.
They apparently
They could retire and then 2 days later tease a comeback.
Yeah, like
It's not how that works.
chase
No.
that bag.
It's not how that works.
they have
guys.
their own company. Just let them.
They're making money.
Yeah, they are. They are making a lot of it too.
They started the podcast. I was reading a tweet about this. They started the podcast with Daniel Bryan asking the two Bella twins, who's the president of Russia? Nikki Bella said Victor Putin, and Brie Bella said Sarah Palin.
Oh my god.
So it was off to
I'm definitely not
it's
listening.
off to a riveting start.
I'm losing brain cells if I listen to that.
All right, let's not lose brain cells. And the gauntlet match, at the start of the show, they started with the New Day coming out talking about Kofi losing the gauntlet last week. Vince said, all right, Kofi, you're done getting opportunities, but Big E and Xavier, if you win a tag team gauntlet tonight, Kofi's in at Mania. And what a gauntlet this was.
Yeah, it was real solid. really
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
My favorite part was the Uso part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like you're earning respect, and then we're forfeit. I'm like, oh, the Daniel Bryan's roundhouse kicking TV is really good. But
Yeah.
the only issue I have is they're kind of overusing the gauntlet match. I
I
understand why
understand
it's
that.
used,
Yeah.
but like, if you wanted to really, you could have put them on like a 10-2 handicap match or something like that. But the gauntlet was that the third gauntlet match SmackDown's done.
Since the Chamber.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I need to think
So
about it like
it's
that.
kind of it's overused. I had no issue with the match, just I don't want to see another gauntlet
I get
match
that.
until next year because they'll do it for the Chamber. Yeah, but solid.
Yeah.
Hey, Kofi's fighting Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really good.
Who said that on the January 31st episode of No Rest Holds for the
I
Weary?
don't
Who was
remember.
that?
Do you guys remember?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Just some guy.
Some
It's like,
guy.
oh, that's a good Fastlane match. You guys were like, and I'm like, no, it's Mania. And you're like, we'll see. And now we see.
So my question with all this would have this been Mustafa Ali? If he didn't
You
get
mean
injured?
Ali?
My bad,
Oh, yeah.
Ali. You're right.
We'll talk about that in a
You're right.
second.
Well, he was Mustafa at the time.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Would it have been him?
It would have been Owens. The Kofi stuff would end up in at Fastlane. It would probably been Mustafa stuff at Fastlane. Brian Mustafa.
Mustafa messing up everything.
And then
I love
Owens and yeah.
Oh,
But honestly, it's not about like
It's for the better.
Yeah,
it's
for
not
the
about
better.
Mustafa
Yeah.
getting hurt. It's about Kofi getting the fans behind him enough to have WWE draw their hand and and change it up.
so good for him.
Yeah.
I still wonder what the original plans were. Like, if say Ali still got hurt,
Yeah.
who would have been? Yeah, that would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
I love the club getting buried. I don't care about them
It's
anymore.
fine, yeah.
They're leaving. They,
I don't
they,
care
could-
about
they
them
could care
anymore.
less.
They could go choke. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about them anymore.
Yeah.
Why did Vince McMahon call the New Day a B+ tag team? Vince, they're the best tag team in your company's history.
He said that they're going to be Hall of Famers, but
Yes.
Kofi by himself
Well,
wouldn't be a
no,
Hall
no,
of
no.
Famer
He
because
called
he's.
New Day a B+ tag
Called
team.
I
Was that at the start of the show?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see
Okay,
the
it doesn't
start.
And
matter.
then no, because a lot of people speculate because he called them a B+ tag team, and then at the end of the show when he's getting into the limo, he said, "Let's see if a B+ player can beat the WWE champion."
Which is such a line right there.
Which people now think like this week too. There's going to be something screwy of like Kofi has to beat Xavier and Big E, and they can't lay down for him or something because like they're B+ players or something.
But
Do I think WWE has that continuity and knows that Vince McMahon said B+ twice? No, I do not. But I just thought it was interesting that he called his best tag team in WWE history B+.
I'm glad they're bringing the B+ thing back.
I love
Daniel
the fact
Bryan
that
in the
it's with
storyline.
Brian
Me
as
too.
the
And
the
he's not.
hero.
He's no longer a B+ player.
Yeah.
Because 5 years ago, he was the
It was-
B+
yeah.
player and the underdog going into all the.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
this is
good.
really good storytelling,
Very.
and it's callbacks, so it's really good.
Underrated part of this whole gauntlet. Byron Saxon jumping off commentary and saying, "I'm going to celebrate with them too," and he came out the ring.
I usually don't like him on commentary, but he's been pretty good for the
With
past
his
few
whole
weeks.
Kofi stuff,
Yeah.
he's been phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like,
He's been pretty good for the
my
past few weeks.
God.
But he's gonna once after Mania, that's gonna go away. So
Like, Byron calling that match at Mania will be like Michael Cole calling the triple threat at WrestleMania 30, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Dan. That
Yeah.
was the biggest moment for me, that
Yeah.
whole triple threat. Because remember how Michael Cole used to be against Daniel Bryan
Yeah,
so much?
and all of a
then
sudden
he's
he
rooting for him at
yeah.
30. Like, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
one, like, little things. But,
yeah, this is WrestleMania's gonna be fun.
yeah, it is.
That's all. WrestleMania's gonna be really fun.
is.
Well,
It is.
the SmackDown part of it, I don't
the
know.
Raw part. Batista's going to be fun. Batista's going to be a lot of fun.
Big Dave.
Can I leave now or later?
Why are you not like Batista, man?
No, I love Batista.
You just don't like Triple H.
It's the other one.
We'll talk about
It's the
Triple H
other
at the after.
What is it? Isn't it No Holds Barred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it might not be that bad.
Triple H is usually good in plunder brawls and
It's
stuff.
going to be the longest match on the
If
Oh
card.
yeah,
it's-
by
if it's-
far, yeah. That's
If it's-
going 35 with entrances,
Oh,
right?
If
there.
it's long,
That's my
it can
break.
say goodbye.
I just want Batista to have his shotgun promo thing, whatever.
Yeah,
I just
the
want
pyro,
that, and
yeah.
I'll be fine. Oh, not pyro.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
Um,
Promo.
Before we take our little break here, let's just acknowledge that WWE changed Mustafa Ali's name to just Ali.
Prince Ali, mighty.
It's fine. We said the same thing with the Andrade name change, and now we
I
don't
would
care.
See, like, the,
I liked Andrade's full name.
Yeah, I liked
But
Andrade's full name
it's like a
better
mouth.
than...
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, but like I didn't care about anybody else's name. Antonio Cesaro, whatever. What
Yeah.
was Rusev's?
Alexander.
Who cares?
Biggie
that's-
Langston.
Mustafa,
Elias Sampson.
even Mustafa Ali, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Andrade Cien Almas. That
Oh,
was
flow.
that was a name.
But like people in the general lexicon, it's hard for them to just pronounce that every time.
So now,
I
do you
know,
think they'll
but-
change Alistair Black to just Alistair?
Nah,
that
I
might
don't think
maybe.
so.
That might come.
Well, I think when Lars comes up, it's just Lars.
That's fine.
I don't think he'll be, which is again like just
That's perfect.
They call him Lars anyway.
Of all the people to not get their names changed, the Revival not losing names like Dash and Dawson. That's what everyone calls them anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think they care enough about them to make them drop their last names.
Yeah.
Heavy Machinery got theirs changed,
Yeah,
right?
they're just Otis
Yeah.
and Tucker now, which is fine. No one's gonna say Dozovic, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a struggle.
I just forgot about Heavy Machinery. I was like, wait. I was like, where are they?
They were
again?
on SmackDown. They were cheering for Kofi.
Yeah. All those NXT call-ups that were coming.
Oh,
Lacey's gonna be a big deal.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Apparently, there
I'm
are reports
I'm
that
big
they've
Lacey
already
fan.
pulled the plug on Lacey's whole push
That
because
stinks.
Becky's going to be on Raw, and then they're already planning Charlotte and Asuka for
It's fine.
SmackDown.
Down the line. We're gonna see a lot more like big time women's feuds. I think going forward.
yeah.
So, are we projected to get Becky Ronda at SummerSlam? Probably.
I don't know.
Well, if Ronda's stepping away,
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
Ronda's
we
gonna.
can't.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. You're
Next
right.
SummerSlam, not this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think if there's anything for Ronda, it has to be legitimately in a year. Like it has to be Raw after Mania next year.
She comes back.
She
and
comes back. If there's anything that
That'd be
she's
cool.
gonna do.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that was SmackDown. I know people who have said that's a top 5 SmackDown in history. In terms of production and like actually laying out the show, I think so. I think it's definitely up there. I wouldn't go so I'm not that hot of a take to say that was top 5 ever.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch like old
Yeah,
SmackDowns
there's-
to say if that's a top 5 SmackDown or not.
Yeah, there are some in like the late 2016 that I was like, okay,
most
let's go,
of
baby.
most of
But
mine will be from the Super 6 era, but it's not even right there because all that stuff was
all those Dawn Marie, Tori Wilson angles, man. I'm telling you, one of these days I'm gonna make y'all watch them, and we're just gonna live commentate them here on the radio. That might be our last episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
God.
watching the Dawn Marie, Tori Wilson
What a way to
series.
go out.
Anyway, we'll take a quick song break. We'll be back to talk about Raw from Monday. You're listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio.
Don't quit on me now tonight. The last time. You poison my mind tonight. You poison my. I'm running away. Get out of sight. Ruthless, godless. It wasn't right. I'm running away. Get out of sight. Ruthless, godless. I wanna see you. And don't dance 'cause I want to. Dance 'cause I need to. I'm gonna entice you in this room. Yeah, I need this more than you can ever wonder. Is this romance? Standing still makes me confused. What happened to the kid in you? I wanna see you.
we're back. That was Play by Marmozets. We got kind of a theme going with our mid-break theme songs here on No Rest Holds this week. It's all former NXT TakeOver theme songs. That was the official theme of the first TakeOver War Games back in November 2017. Welcome back to No Rest Holds for the Weary Fellas. Dante Vacatoro, Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, Jesse Norman. We talked about a hell of an episode of SmackDown that led to a lot of dirty diapers on the internet. That's okay, though, because Monday Night Raw, nobody really had any good or bad opinions about. I'm going to start with Colin Jost.
Who cares?
I care, Samori.
I know you care.
Hey, that's my catchphrase, Samori.
I'm sorry. Who cares? They're going to get squashed by Baron Corbin or something.
All right, so for those of you who are
Who cares?
Not so fortunate to have watched the Moment of Bliss segment on Raw, Braun Strowman called out Jost and Michael Che from SNL fame, as they keep saying, because the whole thing about Braun jacking up Jost by the neck 3 weeks ago, and Che took offense to that, even though Jost kind of had it coming because he asked Braun if wrestling was fake. Braun said, you could either enter the Battle Royal at WrestleMania, or I could beat you up backstage. Michael Che volunteered Colin Jost for the match. Colin Jost volunteered Michael Che for the match. Alexa Bliss said, I'm the host of WrestleMania. I can make that happen. So Colin Jost and Michael Che are in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Whatever.
I'm
That's
so
cool.
excited to hear their theme song. Shaq came out the Panda when he did the armbar.
That was kind of fire.
That's honestly one of the best moments of my life.
I was like,
Who the hell is this? And there's a basketball on the stage. And Shaq-
I was like, hold on. It was Shaq. I'm like, okay.
It's probably going to be the Saturday Night Live theme.
Yeah.
The saxophones and all that. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
the two best entrances I've ever experienced in my life was Shaq coming out the Panda and Mojo Rawley debuting on Battleground in July 2016, saving Zack Ryder from Rusev.
I hate Mojo.
Because I was threadheading Battleground that night with my friends on a forum, and I read someone post, I feel really afraid that Mojo Rawley's coming out right now. And as I read that, I heard his theme song, and he ran out like an idiot, and I started dying laughing. Anywho, Colin Jost for Andre winner? Anyone?
No.
No thanks.
He's eliminating Andrade.
I'll be damned
Why
if
do you
that
think
happens.
Andrade-
Why Andrade? Why is
Yeah.
Andrade your pick?
Because Andrade is going to be Final Four. So Final Three is definitely Che, Jost, and Braun.
Oh.
You're psycho.
Someone's got to get eliminated by
All right,
my-
if this actually
Colin Jost.
happens, I might have to give you my credit card because
He's drinking that Colin Jost Kool-Aid right now.
I've never wanted anything more. Listen, Andrade's my favorite wrestler on the planet right now. I think he's the best wrestler in the world. I want to see Michael Che and Colin Jost eliminate him at WrestleMania.
why?
Because
Why?
Imagine how many people would suddenly become Andrade fans because of that. Because
You want something bad to happen so people get on the train.
Yeah, so people get on the train, and then Braun's winning the Andre, which is fine, I guess. Finally,
really?
if
Braun Strowman's trash.
yeah,
And the Andre Battle Royal is trash too.
not necessarily. The first one was good.
That's
It was really good, the first one.
First one was really good.
yeah, that was good. That was
Even
what, 5
the
years
Mania
ago.
30, the Mania 33 one, I thought was good too. That was the second best one.
Mojo one, right?
Yeah,
I hate Mojo, so I don't.
Boo.
dude. When Gronk retired, they put the video of him pouncing Jinder into his retirement package on ESPN.
If they had any other Gronk WWE footage,
It
don't
would've
worry,
been that.
they would have used it.
Gronk and Mojo against Jinder in the Sings. SummerSlam. I was even thinking mixed match challenge Gronk and DJZ, who's getting signed, against Lashley and Leo.
I would kind of like
Lashley and Leo?
that. Gronk and DJZ.
Gronk and DJZ
would
would
like
be
that.
fire as a team.
That actually would be pretty good. That actually would be kind of decent.
Oh my god.
But the first one you said, it can go.
No.
You know what could
No,
stay?
I gotta be nice to you. You might actually give me a ride home later. I'm gonna be nice to you today.
I have to give you a ride home later.
yeah, so I'm gonna be nice to you today.
Um,
I'm gonna let this gender stuff slide.
Yeah, that's good because we're going to slide right into. So Finn Balor earned his way into the Intercontinental Championship
Demon's
match.
coming, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. You're gonna see him live. So.
Yeah.
Could
I can't
could
wait.
we just talk for a second about the monster duo of Bobby Lashley and Jinder Mahal
You were saying this at the meeting too.
with Leo and the Singh brothers as heater. That's a stable, right? That's the new catch point.
Yeah, that's what you call the catch point.
That's the new
Yeah.
catch point.
That's the lower mid card of evil.
Baby.
Nobody,
Baby,
nobody
look at
cares
them
about
muscles.
that.
No,
Nobody cares about that.
I care.
I'm not gonna speak on this. I said I'm gonna be nice today.
Dude, the new Doom Patrol, Leo Rush and Samir Singh.
Oh God,
That-
I can't wait to watch a Bobby Lashley and Jinder match where the Sings and Leo Rush get involved 17 times.
It would
and
be
then they
so
win.
good.
Dante said that. He said Lashley would be the Universal Champ.
Jinder be IC champ.
The Jinder was her babyface in the feud with Lashley for the.
Yeah, to do the Hogan
They
Warrior
need to
gimmick.
drop one of
Do
Bobby
not
Lashley's
compare
names
Lashley
first.
and Jinder to Hogan and Warrior, okay? First of all.
I hope someone tuned in just when you said that. They'd be like, who the hell is running this ship right now?
DJ of the month right here.
Yeah, I'm the freaking DJ of the month talking about the Mega Powers exploding like that. It's okay because the Mega Powers did explode. Lashley attacked Jinder post-match. So,
Mega beef.
yeah.
Those two got a lot
Yeah.
of beef on them.
Jinder might eliminate Michael Che from the Andre.
Who cares?
So you're saying Jinder's in your final four?
No, he's
Final
not.
five or
We've
whatever?
talked about the Andre way too much.
Yeah, we have.
Hey, look.
I don't even think WWE's talked about Andre this much. They're just like, oh yeah, that's that battle royal. Who's not on the card? Yeah, put them on there. That's fine.
People got
Who's
dirty
winning?
diapers.
Maybe Braun.
People got dirty diapers about Che and Jost being in it. It's like,
Whatever.
who cares?
I don't care.
WWE doesn't care.
Suddenly,
about the Andre.
suddenly people care about the Andre only when it's convenient for them to complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about everything in life, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're getting the Demon, like I said.
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
fine.
me happy. He's gonna get his moment.
It's going to be a good little thing. Finn's going to be champ again, then Lashley's going to do something. Who
And
knows?
Finn's gonna hold the title for
For a bit.
I wish Demon would have just held off until it mattered a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want WWE Championship or Universal Championship. Will Finn ever get back to that point?
Probably
Will the
not.
company ever put him there?
it's fine.
Probably not. I think when his contract's up, I think he's probably going to end up leaving.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think
No.
so either. Makes too much
just
money.
That's just my opinion. But if he it all depends on how AEW does, because if they do take off, if they do have money,
They don't have the copyrights for their own name. They're not going
Hey,
to.
not
He's kind of
yet.
old too, if you think about it. He's like 36.
He's like 36, 37. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He doesn't
crazy.
look it.
Yeah, but we've seen guys now.
And AJ's like 41 AJ's
yeah,
41,
AJ's
so.
41, 42.
Yeah.
At that point, AJ still had 7 years of.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's still going. And Balor, I think, has a body set more similar to AJ than a guy who just like stalls. But
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think he's ever going to be up at that top echelon that he should be.
But he's going to bring
again.
some relevancy to the IC championship, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
If he holds it for a long period of time,
You're telling me you don't think he's going to drop it to Lashley at Backlash? Because
No.
I do.
Lashley's probably going to go to SmackDown or something.
The only way they can basically tell this story is if Lashley leaves.
Yeah.
Because right
Yeah.
now it's just, Finn Balor can beat Leo Rush, but he can't beat Bobby
Well,
Lashley.
but the Demon can beat Bobby
But the
Lashley.
Demon
And they-
can beat Bobby
Then maybe they have
Lashley.
one little blow off at the Saudi Arabia
And
show
that's it.
with regular Finn versus Lashley.
Finn wins.
Finn wins, and then Lashley F's off to SmackDown.
I think Lashley's going to SmackDown too because Leo's already on 205 and makes it easier for Leo to
Right.
be on SmackDown and 205. He doesn't have to do both shows.
Right.
That's why I think Lashley's going. But
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about the Beat the Clock challenge that opened the show with the 3 women?
Rip to the Riot Squad. Rest in peace to them.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Listen, Raw's not going to have many. Once Ronda leaves, Raw doesn't have much going in the way of like solid singles challengers for Becky. Ruby could conceivably get a 2 pay-per-view feud out of Becky.
Yeah. Maybe Shayna.
Yeah, maybe Shayna.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
I hope Shayna.
Me too.
But I don't know if she's dropping the title.
I don't know.
I really don't know if she's
really
dropping
don't
the
know.
It's
title.
hard to predict.
Especially after what happened last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's dropping
That's the hardest match on the whole WrestleMania weekend to predict, I think.
You think?
That fatal 4-way.
It's up there.
And that
It's
whole
up there.
takeover card's hard to predict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two matches are hard to predict.
What's that?
3.
The NXT title and the women's title.
I'd say the North American title might be a little hard too.
Yeah, but either way, I'm going to be happy with that match.
Yeah, bro.
We'll definitely get into NXT at the top of the hour.
We love NXT.
Holy moly! Yeah, I have some stuff to say.
Who doesn't love NXT?
Yeah, right.
Jesse, do you love NXT? We just got to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. No,
I love NXT
you're the
so
bearer of
much
bad
more
news.
than-
You're the bearer of bad news on the show. We just got to make sure.
No, NXT is the one thing that I truly love. I mean, I'll call it out when it has other things wrong with it, but it genuinely has so much less wrong with it than WWE's main product.
I agree.
Yeah,
But going off the beat the clock challenge.
go ahead.
Who cares?
Yeah.
What was it for? There should have just been a stipulation.
So Charlotte did not beat the clock, and she looked like the weakest of the weak links, and that played into her having to get herself a reason to be in the match at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
See how things come full circle?
Yeah. I agree.
That's how stories work.
I did not think they were telling that story whatsoever.
Because you didn't take a look at it. You only took a look at it in the moment. You didn't take a look at it in the big picture. Open up your third eye, big dog.
2 weeks. They did it 2 weeks out from WrestleMania. 2 weeks out from WrestleMania, they
Because
did a
all
beat
y'all have been complaining
the
about
clock
I
challenge.
still don't know who all y'all are.
the general public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I always
The
thought,
general consensus.
Charlotte should have been in the match unless they did this Ronda heel character all those months ago.
'Cause you wouldn't need a heel to carry
then you don't need a heel to carry. But at that point, I think Ronda's heel act would have gotten already stale by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
So either way,
yeah.
they still needed Charlotte
I
for
agree.
that.
Yeah, her and her
beginning
husband are
part.
already stale. Thank God that tries off my television.
Oh.
I didn't need Charlotte to win the SmackDown championship. I didn't need a beat the clock challenge.
Yeah.
I just
Well, their promos were getting bland. They were doing the same thing every week.
Yeah, they haven't been doing much. Yeah, well, it's fine. Whatever.
Did you guys hear about how Ronda found out that the women are main eventing WrestleMania?
Did not.
no.
She ran this by Paul Heyman. She wanted to do an April Fool's joke where she announced, hey, I'm not in the match at Mania because I'm pregnant. And then on Raw next week, say April Fool's.
That would have been fantastic.
And she ran it by Paul Heyman. And Heyman's like, listen, that's great and all, but they're about to announce that you're main eventing and it's going to be all over the national, international media. So, like, don't do that.
That would have been funny.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Alistair and Ricochet beat the Raw Tag Champs, the Revival.
Cool.
I called
Probably-
this before.
Yep. Probably setting up the Mania kickoff third match there.
Cool.
Again,
fine.
right now, WrestleMania has 13 matches. 13 matches announced. You figure the Women's Battle Royal and the Raw Tag titles. That's probably it.
And the cruiserweights on pre-show too.
Yeah. Yeah. Those would be the three pre-show matches. But anything that needs to be announced still would be just the Women's Battle Royal and the Raw Tag titles.
Yeah. And SmackDown tag titles
Maybe.
if they do anything.
I
with
don't.
that.
I don't think.
I think they're
just
being a battle royal.
The Battle
probably.
Royal.
It's too late to start, like Dante and I
Yeah.
were talking about earlier. It's too late to start a feud, kind of, with
Yeah.
a week left.
Yeah, at least with this, they've been building Alistair and Ricochet
Yeah.
for a few weeks.
The only thing they could do with the SmackDown tag titles is big cluster match of
Like a ladder match or something.
No, I don't
have
even
Jeff
think.
Hardy.
I don't even think they do a ladder match. I think they would do 4 SmackDown teams.
Usos, Bard,
Usos,
Hardys,
Bar,
and
Rusev
the
and
Nakamura,
Nakamura.
yeah.
I can see it, honestly.
Let it go 7 minutes, get everybody their royalties, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I can
like.
see it.
But I don't think they
I don't
will.
think so.
That's the only thing they
Yeah.
could do.
Right now, we're looking at 15, maybe 16 matches on the Mania card, which means 12, maybe 13 on the actual main card because 3 kickoffs, which is fine. Last year they had 14 matches total, which means 11 on the main card. So again, none of these matches are going to go. There's not like 5 matches that are going to go ridiculously long. Like last year, I had like 4 or 5 matches that went 15 plus minutes. I think there's only 2 or 3 that have to go that long this year. It's just going to be a big variety show with like sprints and stuff, and then a long Triple H match.
Yeah, he'll take time from everybody else,
Yeah.
like he always does.
Yeah. AJ, Shane, Triple H, Batista, and the main event will probably
You
get
mean
like
AJ
20 minutes.
Randy, right?
AJ Orton. You said AJ Shane.
AJ, Miz and Shane. Miz and Shane. Because I think that'll be the opener.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was something to get people off their seats.
Yeah.
Or maybe Randy and AJ might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a good match, I
Yo,
believe.
Mania's stacked, man.
Mania is stacked.
Tune in next
Roman,
week.
Roman and Drew, that's going to be good too.
Oh my, I'm so excited for this
At
match.
first I wasn't, but now I am.
I'm really
I really
excited.
think Drew's going to win.
I don't
Give him some vindication.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I would love
understand.
for, I would love for Drew to win.
I understand why you guys don't think so, but I really do think that Drew's the next person for Seth once he gets the title.
Well, I
so
think
that's going to catapult him to winning because he'll beat everybody on the Shield. He's like, I beat all your brothers, so like I'm going to beat you now and take your title.
Well, I think the best case scenario would be like the best story to tell is that Roman came back. We haven't seen Roman wrestle that much since he's come back. Have him lose and then do a year of building him up. Like if you tell a story of he beat cancer and now he needs to build himself back up to get back to ring, you know, like instead of just he came back and then in a month he destroyed the Scottish psychopath, you know. Like,
I don't even think you need a year. Just wait until SmackDown moves over to Fox.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
give it to SummerSlam.
Just give him like a little story of having to pick himself
I like that
back
idea,
up
definitely.
instead of just like, oh, he beat cancer and he's going to destroy Drew McIntyre.
Something that gets lost right around now is the fact that the shakeup is in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Roman
the international shakeup.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
I think Roman's probably going
I
to
think
SmackDown.
Roman's going over.
And I think AJ's going to go to Raw.
I think
Yeah.
Drew might go to SmackDown and be Kofi's challenger.
That could work too.
Does Brian go to Raw?
Yeah, maybe. Who cares?
Ooh.
I think a thing that
Brian Rollins
theory,
feud?
A theory that I have
AJ Rollins feud.
is with this shakeup, what they're gonna do is just set up most of their guys to be over on SmackDown when
Right.
the split is. So in my mind, I'm just like, oh, so Raw and SmackDown are basically gonna switch a lot of their roster. I think Brian, like the top guys on SmackDown and the top guys on Raw, I think are just gonna
So like I think
swap.
Brian and AJ would probably go to Raw.
Yeah.
Finn would stay there. Who else is on SmackDown?
Yeah, because like if like
Randy could stay over on SmackDown because Randy's
Yeah.
still a big name.
Randy might
Joe's
go
gonna
over
stay,
though.
probably.
Joe will probably stay. Yeah.
I think Randy would stay. He's a bigger name. And he could feud
Unless-
with like Roman
if-
again.
especially if at that point Vince McMahon's taking over more of SmackDown because it's in the spotlight. Randy likes working under Vince more than he likes working under other people. That's because Vince sees him as a bigger star than a lot of other people do. But I think the top stars are mostly going to switch, and I think that works for a lot of guys. We've talked about Finn Balor going over to SmackDown in previous shakeups because they're like, oh, we just need to refresh his character. If you move guys over to Raw, imagine the matches. I mean, Balor already had a great match with AJ at Rumble.
With no build.
17, 18?
No, that was
TLC.
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 17.
I get
17.
TLC and Rumble so mixed because they're like in the same
Well,
That year was October.
It was in
Was
October.
it in October?
Yeah.
Every year they switch a little bit. You know, whatever.
No, but if you give them an actual build,
yeah,
that match would
that'd
be
be
so much
competitive.
Yeah,
better.
and then
Yeah.
you can also have the ability of Balor, Bryan, you know,
Then
matches
you can,
like that.
You can also have Seth, Bryan, Seth, AJ,
Yeah.
Seth, Finnegan. It's so many different opportunities you could have.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Raw's going to get better, hopefully.
And then the women's tag team now. I want to talk about a little
Yeah. Let's talk.
No one's meaner than Tamina.
bit. No one meter.
Yeah, I kind of want her hoodie.
Me too.
I don't know why. I don't know where I'd wear it.
Just because it's
'Cause I'd have to explain to people who Tamina is and why it's not me. But yeah.
it's not me.
Um, So they did announce the 4-way for the women's tag titles,
Thank God.
which is fine now that we know that the SmackDown women's title isn't going to be defended. We have 2 solid women's matches on the main card of Mania.
Hopefully.
Sasha and Bailey get get their title defense.
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix looks jacked to the gills.
Like she always did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pitched a Beth Phoenix Charlie Caruso arm wrestling contest because their arms are both so big. That would do some numbers there, some pre-Attitude Era numbers. But
Yeah, there's a SmackDown team in there, so that's
the Iconics got in.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Thank God.
And they did beat the tag champs. So
Exactly.
so that makes sense that they're in.
Yeah.
Before the whole Charlotte thing winning the SmackDown women's title, I would have picked the Iconics to win, but I think there's
You get that moment of either at Mania or the night after of the 4 horsewomen with all
holding
4
up.
titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know who's gonna win. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully they don't swerve us. And it's
And
like
Ronda
and it's,
walks out.
and it's not
Oh.
WrestleMania 32 all over
Or
again.
WrestleMania 34. Like last year, we thought Roman was winning. Like, thank
right.
God. And then
I think
the Universal title's cursed at this point. Like, I don't want Seth to get it because he
Brock
just be
still
cursed.
might actually win.
I know.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
there's
so.
still that part of me
'Cause-
that's just like he's gonna do it.
Like, my thing is, Brock is a guaranteed lock for a Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah.
And
Because
probably
he gets-
SummerSlam, too.
He
Yeah.
gets paid reportedly like $2 million.
He'll go and work
per
in Saudi
show.
Arabia. Seth might not.
Yeah.
So they have a Saudi Arabia show at the end of the month, and they're going to want a Universal title match on that.
But who do they put him up against? Do they? Oh God.
They might do a rematch.
Do they just do? But if Seth is like thinking about not go,
Or
now
Triple-
Roman's already said he doesn't want to go
Right.
though. Who can they do? Like a lot of guys.
Drew,
Braun.
triple threat.
Drew, I guess.
Taker.
If Taker wins the
God.
Universal title, I'll
He
be
wouldn't.
hyped.
He wouldn't. But
And
yeah,
then he drops
he
it to
wouldn't.
Cena at SummerSlam.
That would actually be a good. I would actually think they're gonna do a good build. They would do a good build to that. Actually,
That was supposed to happen
Brock
at
and
WrestleMania
Taker,
33 too.
That would be a good.
And
The match would be probably awful. Would just be terrible.
yeah.
But the build, that would not be
it
bad.
would be all right. We alluded to this match earlier. Angle and Joe. I liked the start of that match with
headbutt.
the headbutt because that's how they started their feud in TNA when Angle
Yeah.
first came over
he got
13
split
years
open
ago.
like in the first 5 minutes of him walking
So
in
It was
TNA.
such a dope callback.
It was.
That being said, Kurt Angle moves like a walrus. And 5 minutes, just do your damn angle slam and get out of there. Have a nice life, Kurt. Like that's all that WrestleMania should be.
I'm just tired of the Joe finish where he's got the coquina clutch and then
And
he
he
gets
rolls-
pinned.
yeah.
I'm like, Joe, you look like such an idiot. Can you not hear 1, 2?
It's not
just
even-
let him go.
It's not even that. Like the first time when Finn did it, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
Finn outsmarted him. Then AJ did it, and it's like,
I
hold
feel
on.
like they've used it like 4 times in the
they've used
past
it a
like
lot.
2 months.
And they even use it as just a setup spot for a kick out too.
Yeah.
It's like, Joe, can you not like let your opponent
Joe,
walk
let
to the
go.
ropes?
You don't need to hold it until like he passes out.
Eventually,
Like,
they'll figure out just to roll onto one of his shoulders to get off, and then he's right back in the clutch. Like,
Yeah,
he'd be fine.
it
He's-
doesn't-
You got to bring him up. Dominic Mysterio. Big
Yo.
Dominic
he's doing
Mysterio.
something.
Big
He's
Dom.
doing something at Mania.
he's
has to.
getting bumped at Mania.
Yeah, he's helping Joe
He's gonna
win.
turn on his dad.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's gonna help Joe win. Yeah.
Joe
This is
always-
revenge
Joe
for,
always
for
tries to
winning me at
invade
SummerSlam
his
05.
Look at all the Joe invasion family things that he's done in WWE and TNA. This is the one he finally gets.
No,
he
he's gonna-
finally invades a family
No.
and takes it over.
Custody
He's
of
gonna-
Dominic match again. There
He's
you go.
gonna choke out Dom next week, and
Probably.
it's gonna be
I
sick.
think Dom's gonna have something at Mania.
He's gonna
There's
sit front
no way
row,
they
yeah.
can keep
There's-
talking about him
Yeah.
and
He
said
have
he's
him
in
not
front
have
row,
anything at
right?
Mania.
Yeah,
He's in front. Oh man.
yo,
I never thought that in 2019 Dominic Mysterio would be back.
Ray trademarked Prince Mysterio in the last week.
I like that.
So, Big Man might have his indie name or his actual wrestling name, which makes sense. If you got Rey Mysterio, the King of Mystery, and then you got Prince of Mystery and his son.
You know, Dominic's only 6 feet tall.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
Ray-
Like
Ray's
everyone's
just
like,
that
oh,
small.
he's massive. I'm like, Ray's 5'6".
yeah,
How,
right.
wait, how is he? Time out. How is he 6 foot?
His mother, like Mysterio's wife, is like 5'10", 5'11". Mysterio's wife is taller than Ray.
Well, yeah.
That makes sense.
That's like 6 inches
Yeah.
taller than Ray.
So yeah, Dom is a little taller. Yeah, Rey Mysterio is about as tall as Caleb Braxton is with heels on. So, speaking of Caleb Braxton, on Instagram yesterday, she was doing yoga with Tori Wilson ahead of Wilson's Hall of Fame induction, which is cool. Another thing, this is how I segue into the Hall of Fame speculation. They speculate on one more Hall of Fame inductee next week, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Who
Oh,
cares?
Hogan's guy.
That's why Hogan and Beef are getting flown in for Mania, I think.
Oh my God.
That was also reported.
No celebrity this year.
Yeah, right?
I thought
Did
they,
they-
That's shocking.
Who
Yeah.
did they have last year? Who?
The celebrity?
Yeah, who was the celebrity last year?
I don't
Or
know.
was it Kid Rock last year?
Yeah,
It was
Kid
Kid
Rock.
Rock,
Kid Rock.
and he didn't
Yeah.
come to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think that's why they were kind of like whatever with the celebrity. Because why did Kid Rock get it?
Because he did the theme
he did
song.
the theme
and he did
song,
Rollin'. Oh, no, he didn't. That
No,
was
he did.
Limp
That was
Bizkit.
Limp
Limp
Bizkit,
Bizkit should
yeah.
be in the Hall of Fame.
Like over
it should be
Kid Rock.
Lawrence
Like
Taylor
why did?
still. They're in New York. It should be Lawrence Taylor. That's my pick.
That's true.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
A lot of tag teams this year. Heart Foundation, DX, and Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
And all three of those are someone getting in as a double.
Yep.
Two-time Hall of
With
Famers.
Brett, Sean, and Booker.
Woo.
And Booker got inducted both years they were in New Jersey, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Shouldn't.
that's something there.
All right.
Interesting Hall of Fame class. It kind of goes against the grain of what they've usually
Somewhat.
done.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
This is more of a bizarre class. It doesn't even have. It has a group as the headliner.
Yeah.
Well, I think next year's will be Batista. So.
Yeah, Batista will headline next year.
So
Yeah.
the year after Triple H goes in with DX, Batista goes in.
Yeah.
And then Triple H is going to be like a 3-time.
4-time Evolution.
That's what I'm saying. But DX,
Himself.
Triple H himself,
Oh.
and then Evolution.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a 3-time.
3-time, you're right.
3-time.
Well, that would
You're
make
right.
Ric Flair a 3-time then too.
Wouldn't Ric Flair be a?
No, he went Horseman.
Oh,
and
he went Horseman.
Horseman and himself,
Yeah,
and then Evolution.
And then Evolution. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was all of wrestling this week on the main roster. Anyway, after
Ooh.
the break, we're gonna talk a little NXT. We're gonna get to our top 5 Thursdays. Keep it locked here on Brave New Radio. You're listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary.
WPSC, Wayne, New Jersey. On the radio, 88.7 FM. Online, gobrave.org. A tune-in radio station. Part of the William Patterson Broadcast Network.
Broadcasting live from Hobart Hall in Wayne, New Jersey.
This is,
The innovative,
I think they're really unique.
the fearless,
they have awesome variety.
the kick-ass,
I love Brave New Radio.
the sensational.
I've never heard anything like it.
This is the one and only Brave New Radio.
Bide my time, wearing a warning sign. Wait till the world is mine. Visions I vandalize, cold in my kingdom size. Fell for these ocean eyes. You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to help. Watch me make them bow one by one by one, one by one by. You should see me in a crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one by one, one by one by one. Count my cards, watch them fall. Blood on a marble wall. I like the way they scream. Tell me which one is worse, living or dying first. Sleeping inside a hearse. I don't dream. You say, come over, baby. I think you're pretty. I'm okay. I'm not your baby. If you think I'm pretty, you should see me in the crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to help. Watch me make them bow one by one by one.
Welcome back to No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. You're listening to the official theme song of Takeover New York. You Should See Me in a Crown by Billie Eilish. Never thought I'd listen to Billie Eilish here on the radio, but here we are. Jesse Norman, Samori Rose, Stephen Clark, and I am Dante Vacatoro. Before we get into NXT, I'd like to bring up a little bit of 205 Live action from last night. Oni Lorcan, an NXT superstar, officially on the 205 Live roster. He cost Cedric Alexander his match with Arya Daivari. Good for Oni.
Yeah.
He's been
Yeah.
down there since really like June of 2016. So getting to see him on the main roster is
He's
gonna be
really
pretty
good,
cool.
too.
Yeah.
He's really good.
So underrated. I think he's so underrated.
His character work needs a little work, but other than that, he's a great wrestler. He gets you into matches. So, also on that show that I was really into, Buddy Murphy did a promo from the PC, and he was running down Tony Nese, and he stops and he stands in front of some windows that go through a hallway. And he's just running down, Tony, I thought you were my friend, but I had to put you down. And one by one, you see people just walking behind him. First, it was a couple tag team guys. Then it was Norman Smiley and ACH. and then Tony Nese walks by, and he's just staring at Buddy Murphy through the window, but Murphy's back is turned to the window. And then all of a sudden, Nese comes through the door and starts beating up Murphy and pull apart. It was so good. It was very good.
I like this feud.
I really like it.
I like it a lot.
It just started too, so
Really
it's only
like
going to get
it.
better, hopefully.
You say that.
Dude, Tony Nese is a made man now.
No, I'm just
For-
kidding. Triple H is doing it, so the long-term stories are good.
Yeah. Speaking of Triple H is doing it, NXT this week.
The best thing about Triple H.
Yeah.
The best thing about Triple H.
Can't argue about that.
I love just the idea that, like, in the same calendar year that Punk quit and blamed Triple H for, like, a lot of the reason why he was unhappy, Triple H just became Mr. Indie guy and just loves, like, indie wrestlers.
I think what if this is all just a thing to stick it to CM Punk?
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't hate indie guys. I just hated you.
I'd love if that was a
Me
thing.
too.
This isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H. This is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque.
Greatest line.
There
That was I wasn't
so
even that
cringe.
big of a Punk fan, but honestly, that is my favorite line in all of wrestling
cringe.
history.
Oh, CM Punk's one of my favorites.
I didn't even like CM Punk.
He's one of
that
my
much.
favorites of all time too, but like he hasn't aged very well.
No.
There was a thing on Twitter yesterday that was like, name a promo better than Punk's pipe bomb. I'll wait. And it's like, Punk's pipe bomb has not aged well over the last decade. It's just him, because it was shock factor of him saying indie names and Paul Heyman's name.
And kind of saying Vince is going to die soon.
Yeah. His promo the night that The Rock came back in 2013
That
was a
was good.
lot better.
He's had a lot of had a lot of good promos before that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with the Straight Edge Society, he
Yeah.
was on fire back then.
The thing back then was just like Dante said, shock factor.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to say New Japan.
Yeah.
You were never allowed to say TNA.
Or
you
Colt
were
Cabana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to, if they didn't work for WWE in WWE Circle, they didn't exist.
Yeah.
Until they joined WWE and they're
Right.
like, oh, he's done
All of this, yeah.
all around the world.
Oh, they botched that
All
storyline
over
so
the world.
bad.
My
goodness.
The actual best promo of all time, my vote for that was Miz's on Talking Smack, where he ran down Daniel Bryan.
Really good.
Yeah.
Oh, remember we got a payoff to that? It was not good.
What, the match at SummerSlam?
No. The tag team. The Daniel Bryan and
At Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
Oh,
that's-
but
I
Brian
didn't like
beat
that.
him in
I saw
Super
that.
Yeah, and that
Showdown.
wasn't good
No,
either.
at Super Showdown, Brian beat Miz in 2 minutes.
SummerSlam
I
was
don't
good.
remember Super Showdown.
That was at Crown Jewel, and that wasn't.
No, it was at Super Showdown.
Was it Super Showdown?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
right.
'cause
You're
it was
right.
a
Because
number one contender
Brian
match.
didn't work Crown Jewel, and they did
Yeah.
the title match on
Yeah,
TV
yeah,
the week
because they
before.
were gonna do they did it on SmackDown
Yeah.
1000.
Yeah,
stuff too.
that payoff was not good.
No.
But the match at SummerSlam was.
SummerSlam was good. But anyway,
Gargano and Cole came face to face.
Fire.
Fire promo.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
What else are you gonna say?
It's gonna be such a good match. That's all.
It's
I know.
not going to be definitive. It's going to be undisputed. That I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Loser gets called up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. At this point,
Maybe.
there's no real reason to try and play out to see if Ciampa could come back and do the Gargano Ciampa blow off. Put the title on Cole, like
Yep.
Johnny rebuild on the main
I
roster.
agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Dream coming out on the couch
Yeah.
during Matt Riddle's match with Kona Reeves.
So good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This match, I've been hyped for a lot of things, fellas. Dream versus Riddle might be my favorite match of all time.
Two of my favorites in the
When
company.
it's
Maybe.
all said and done.
It's going to be really good.
Two of my favorites
Yeah.
in the company right now.
Yeah.
I'd say.
How he took the water, he drank it, just threw it.
I love
That was really
the-
good.
Their two characters coming together.
Yeah, it's gonna be a way better EC3 versus Dream.
I get that. Yeah.
Like a 10
way
times
better.
yeah.
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 During the women's tag team match, which is actually pretty good there, Casey Catanzaro and Lacey Lane versus Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. Shayna Baszler and the Horsewomen came out, beat everyone
You
up.
saw how Leah left. That was funny. I was like, hey, I don't want any problems.
I love Casey.
Casey's great.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Casey.
Casey's from Belleville, some more.
Hey, I was happy to hear from Belleville, New Jersey.
Yeah. The first time I heard that was when they did the Mae Young Classic introductions. And I was like, hold on, hold the phone.
Yeah.
My bedroom is in Belleville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Casey.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna evade her, but nah. I like the last time she put what's her finisher called? It's
The
early.
Kirifuda clutch.
Yeah, that's a mouthful to say, but yeah, that was really fire. How
Yeah.
she put it on there at the end.
Did you guys watch on the WWE PC YouTube channel? Casey watching Ricochet on Fastlane.
Yeah.
And Lacey Lane was there too, and she was
Knitting.
She was knitting the mask that she wore for this episode of NXT.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too.
That was cool.
I love that YouTube channel. My favorite YouTube channel.
Yeah, they do a lot of cool things.
Ricochet getting a haircut was on there.
Yeah.
Or a beard cut because he doesn't have any hair.
Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic was decided. Forgotten Sons, thank the Lord above, they're not going to take over.
It wasn't that bad.
It was a good match.
It was
a good match.
Surprisingly, I thought they got something out, but that black mask was stiff.
Yeah.
That black mask was stiff.
I was very happy with the result. Made an already great looking takeover on paper look even better.
Yeah.
I've said this like for the past 3 weeks. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
We give a shout out to the Forgotten Sons though.
No, they don't need that.
Oh no.
They had 2 bad matches to start the tournament.
They did good.
They did good.
They had 2 bad matches with 2 good tag teams.
Yeah. They did do good though.
In this match though. I'll give them
They
that.
had 2 bad matches with 2 good tag teams.
Yeah.
But they did good here.
Yeah, this takeover.
This takeover.
It's gonna be
looking
fire.
good. This takeover's looking
Even
real
like
good.
the show they taped before is going to be fire too.
With Lee and Dijakovic, yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know who else, maybe Vanessa Bourne. And
They announced Kyrie versus Bianca for next week too, which is
I think ACH is debuting next week too, because I know that was on the tapings.
and it's probably just gonna be like a big recap show too with video package and stuff, which is fine. That's what they do before every takeover.
That's cool.
Lets me go to sleep a little bit earlier on Wednesday nights because I could get up at 4:30 to do this damn show.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm not too complaining about that.
Hey, you won DJ of the month for it.
That's true. Hard work pays off, right?
When your coffee mug.
Yeah.
Well, you don't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
Your
It
tea
makes me
mug.
poop. Yeah.
I hate coffee too.
Yeah.
I hate coffee.
right here,
It's
baby.
gross.
Yeah.
Right here, baby.
The first time I drank coffee on campus, like the end of my first semester, they had like a de-stress thing out in the student center.
Oh, God.
And shout out to anyone listening in the student center, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope they turned it on for you guys.
They do.
They sometimes do, but they wait until like 8:30 to turn it on. So
soon they'll hear us.
yeah, so I was in the student center and they were like, "Hey, you got coffee and tea over here," and I couldn't find the tea bag, so I'm like, screw it, I'll just do coffee. I took 2 sips. I was like, I had a 2.5 hour class or whatever. It was the COM 1190, and I had to use the bathroom the entire time. I sprinted out of the door. I'm like, no. So yeah, coffee ain't my thing. But you know what is my thing? NXT Takeover. That's a hell of a segue right
that
there.
doesn't make you poop.
No, it does not. We're gonna do I think this is our 7th edition of Top 5 Thursdays because we didn't do it the first week and we didn't do it last week. We did do it the week that we fantasy booked. We did like a top 5 favorite matches of all time or something like that.
Yeah, it was real quick.
Yeah,
It was something.
so
at the top.
I'm gonna count that. So this is our 7th because
Yeah.
this is episode 9.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, Samori brought us the Takeover-centric Top 5 Thursdays this week.
Yeah.
You did.
And
So-
top 5 Thursdays too.
Yeah, and in general, yeah.
The founder of Top 5 Thursdays.
We got 2 top 5s for you this week. Best NXT takeovers as a show and best NXT takeover matches. And talking to you guys, this was an incredibly difficult list to narrow down.
Yeah, this was the hardest list I've done.
It's like
Because all the other lists were kind of not easy, but easy. If that makes sense.
You understood what you had a good idea of what you were
Yeah,
going to
can
put
I
on
go
the list.
first? I might as well.
You want to do takeovers, just like shows first?
Yeah, the shows are first.
Go
Because
ahead.
the matches, I'll probably go a little more in depth.
Yeah.
So I have honorable mentions every week. Every takeover is an honorable mention, except maybe which one was it? Unstoppable, maybe. I think Unstoppable.
I liked Unstop.
It's one of the earlier ones. I'm not sure.
The
which one.
2014 ones before our evolution were kind of rough, but other than
Yeah,
that,
I believe the one with Neville and Tyson Kidd as the main event.
that's NXT Takeover.
Yeah, that one was a
yeah.
little rough. But
Yeah.
every takeover is an honorable mention. So number 5, we have Takeover Philadelphia with one of the best matches I've ever seen with Gargano and CN, because we can still call them that at the time.
Yes, we can.
Then Aleister Black and Adam Cole had a phenomenal Extreme Rules match. There was just so much going on in that card. Really good card. Number 4 is War Games 2. Really recent one. Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black destroyed each other. It was really good. The War Games match wasn't as good as the first one, but I think the card in general was better because you got Velveteen Dream and Ciampa. They put on a classic. 3, I have Takeover Dallas from 2016. So this is really, it's Nakamura and Sami Zayn that really made it this. Then Balor and Joe was really good. And didn't Asuka beat Bailey?
Yeah, Asuka beat Bailey on the show.
Oh, and the first match, American Alpha versus the Revival, really good. Really, really good. Number 2 is Takeover Brooklyn 4. Really solid show. Every match was good on the show. There's no bad match. Ricochet and Adam Cole had a really good match. The last man standing match was really good. And number 1, I think this is probably everybody's, is New Orleans.
Bold to think that I would have that at number 1.
Why wouldn't you?
Because I don't.
That's okay.
What?
New Orleans is fire. I can't say
Yeah,
every match was
I
good.
agree.
Yeah, no, New Orleans is really good. It's just not my number 1.
That's okay. But yeah,
I like the list.
thank you.
Yeah, why not?
You next?
All right. So I agree with Samori. Everyone's an honorable mention as well. But I'll start with my number 5. I have Takeover Brooklyn 4 as my number 5. Just all around a good show. I was debating between 4 and 5, switching them. At 4, I have Takeover Brooklyn 1, just for the nostalgia and the Sasha Bailey moment, the Finn, Kevin Owens moment. I think Corbin Joe. Jushin Thunder Liger Breeze.
That was good.
One of my
Underrated.
favorite matches of all time. Not because it's like a classic, right? But just the fact that Liger worked NXT was insane.
Yeah, and he was
to
just
me.
there.
Yeah.
One of the
He
most
was literally just there.
underrated matches, I'd say.
Really
And
good match.
At that moment, we actually got a 4-horsewoman moment too, which we're going to get in a few days. So,
Probably in the same building.
oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
If they
the
do it
next
the night
night.
after Mania, yeah.
Or the night after that.
Yeah, even if it's,
Whatever
even if
it's
it's
at.
on the SmackDown, yeah.
My number 3, I have Takeover War Games 2. Just like you said, War Games match was good. Gargano Black was phenomenal, and Dream Ciampa was phenomenal as well. I'm trying to think of the tag match. It was Undisputed versus
We're talking War
War
Games.
Games 2.
No,
Yeah.
they were
were-
in
They
the
were
Undisputed
in
was
the
in
War
it.
War. It was Ricochet,
All
Pete
the-
Dunne,
that's right.
War Raiders against
So there wasn't
Undisputed
there
Era.
was no tag title match then.
No, it was, I know Shayna
No.
fought
Kyrie,
Kyrie,
200 falls.
Yeah, that
Then they
was
had
good,
Ono
too.
Riddle in like the 6-second.
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah, and the kick or whatever.
No, that was
He's like,
perfect.
why are you out here? We're not supposed to be out here till Wednesday.
Oh, so good. My number 2, I have a really recent one. I have Takeover Phoenix
Okay.
as my number 2. Just, I don't know. I love it. I love Johnny winning the title. I love Ciampa doing his best work. Then my number 1,
Yeah.
Takeover New Orleans.
Yeah.
Man, top to bottom, just
Awesome match.
Beautiful.
Awesome matches.
oh,
Awesome.
like there wasn't a dull moment. Like some of the other shows might have had like one okay match, not great. This show had great after great match after.
And a great moment with Roddy turning on Pete Dunne to become a
Yeah,
champion.
because Cole was doing double duty that night too.
Yeah.
After that awesome ladder match.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
we'll talk about that ladder match at the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And that's
yeah.
Johnny Ciampa 1 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just there, boom.
That's a mic drop.
That's
It might not be for Jesse, but that's a mic drop.
Good like Mama's home cooking. Jesse, what do you got?
So at number 5, I'm just letting everybody know now. Recent NXT is the best NXT by far.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
It's not even
Totally
a
agree with you.
competition. Even when you look at main event talent, mid card talent, never the mid card now is better than some NXT era's main event.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The mid card of like when it was Velveteen, Adam Cole, give me that over the main event of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Sorry, but
That's
so good.
that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
yeah.
So number 5, I have NXT Takeover War Games 1. I liked it. It's a fun. I liked when they brought back War Games. I thought it was an interesting thing. I didn't know it was going to stay around, but I'm glad it did.
Me too.
Takeover Philly.
Fire.
Good card. Andrade and Gargano. You guys already talked about. Brooklyn 4, another great one, and then I have New Orleans at number 2. And my number 1 is NXT Takeover War Games 2.
That's fine.
I
Okay.
loved War, and the match that put it over for me was Velveteen and Ciampa,
Well,
which is
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
Don't worry. I feel very strongly
it's,
about it.
Me too.
Hey, Meltzer almost gave it a 5, so you know it's doing something.
It-
but we're not going to
Velveteen
speak.
should have
We're not
almost
going to
given
speak
it a
on him.
6.
But
I want to speak on Meltzer real quick. He got announced for Starcade or Starcast or whatever All Elite's
How
doing.
much is he like charging?
It doesn't matter because they spelled his name wrong on the graphic. David Metzler. Is his
Metzler?
Yeah,
Metzler?
Yeah, Metz. Yeah,
The
like
Mets
that.
are trash too.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, so yeah, that's how much I care about Dave Metzler over there. But I like that list. I do have War Games 2 up on my top 5 as well. I guess it's on to me.
Yes, sir.
All right. All of these are from either 2017 or 2018. After NXT rebooted their TV at post Mania 33, I think they've been lights out. Yeah. They were good, but their week to week before then didn't really matter as much. Now they make you tune in every week because they do some crazy stuff almost every week. My one honorable mention, it was between this and number 5 to get on this top 5, War Games 2. I think if the War Games match didn't go 45 minutes, it would be on here instead of my number 5. But Ciampa Dream is one of my favorite matches of all time. Alistair and Johnny was incredible. The women's 2 out of 3 falls match was great, and I loved seeing Riddle out there for the first time. Just hearing his theme song, and him walking out, yeah. So that's my honorable mention. Number 5 is Brooklyn 4. Mustaches opening the show. Tyler Bates, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, and him getting to do his thing in Brooklyn was cool. Trent Seven is great. EC3 and Dream. I don't care about the match. Dream came out with pants that said "Call me up, Vince."
Yeah.
Still
Yeah, that was the highlight of that match.
Still one of my favorite things. Be like, oh my God. Because the rumors were there that he was going to get called up afterwards. Because I remember talking in Discord the week before with my friends, and we're like, yeah, I think Dream's coming up. And then all of a sudden he addresses the rumors. It's great. Shayna Baszler having to follow Velveteen Dream on every takeover last year was insane. She
I
fought
never noticed that.
the first 4 at War Games. She didn't, but every other takeover from Philly to Brooklyn,
She did a good job doing it.
it's the Dream match and then the Shayna match.
That's really weird.
Yeah, Dream Ono and then Shayna Ember, the ladder match and Shayna Ember, where we got Ricochet Dream, Shayna Nikki.
That's weird.
That's
and
an
then-
underrated match too. Shane and Nikki.
Yeah,
You know,
and
it would be a crazy match. Velveteen Dream versus Shayna Baszler.
I'd be so
Sign me
here
up.
for this.
I would be
so
Matter of
here.
fact,
all in.
hey, and while you're at it, give me Candice LeRae and Adam Cole again,
Sure.
Why not?
because they've done it before.
Yeah.
And it's really good. So that's fine.
As you said, some more Ricochet and Cole from Brooklyn. Another incredible match.
That spot, that's still one of my favorite spots
The
ever.
super kick out of the
Oh
moonsault.
my
Yeah.
god! I remember I saw that live. I was like, "Hold up!
Yeah.
I don't rewind things when it's live, but I had to rewind that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last man standing match was, I hate saying this, but it was their worst of the 3.
I agree.
But when their other 2 matches were as good as their other 2 matches was, it's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna
It's like,
speak on
oh
those.
darn,
We'll
that,
talk-
that was
we'll
only
speak on them.
4 stars instead of your normal 5-star.
I gave it 4 3/4 instead of 5. Number 4 is Chicago 2 from a couple months before that. Ricochet and Dream.
I just watched Chicago 2 last night.
yeah.
It was really the only lull I think is Baszler Nikki Cross gets a
Yeah.
little slow at times.
little bit.
Yeah,
But
I
other
get
than
that.
I like
Other
that.
than that.
Other than that, Chicago 2.
I like how she was getting choked out. She was smiling.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
she
Yeah.
smiles before
Oh.
she passes out. That was a really good call.
Birch and Lorcan.
Oh my goodness.
They came in with people not caring about them, and they left with a broken orbital bone and people cheering them.
They made him care.
They made him care.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricochet and Dream, the Ember, the Shane and Nikki match was really good. And I love the moment at the end there. Gargano Ciampa, obviously. I think that was the better of their 2 matches.
The second one.
Well, I'll speak on that when we talk about our.
Ciampa won that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
with
He was handcuffed.
He was handcuffed
And on the wood.
with the
Yeah.
wood, and then Gargano didn't let him go. He tried beating him up more, and then Ciampa hits him with the
Yeah, he could have had him
with the
stretchered out, but he didn't.
yeah.
And then Alistair Black and Lars Sullivan.
With that botched,
Listen,
the botched black mass.
I drank the Lars Kool-Aid forever. And the moment on NXT TV where Alistair went for the black mass and Lars caught it with one hand, I've never lost my mind more
That
in
was sick.
wrestling. than
I
watching that.
admit. I'm not the biggest Lars fan, but that was sick.
Yeah.
That was sick.
That was a good match, too. So that's number 4. Number 3 is Chicago 1. When it happened, I call it the greatest show of all time. The next three are kind of like in that echelon. So Chicago 1 started with Roddy and Eric Young, and I think that was the only thing that was just kind of like a little. It was still a really good match.
It was a little slow, little slow in the beginning.
And that came right after Roddy did his whole "my family is effed up"
Like that
story.
5-part documentary.
Yeah, which was cool, and it was cool to see him get the first win over Sanity instead of Ty Dillinger, because look how that turned out.
Perfect. 10.
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears with his bad mohawk.
Oh, that's horrible.
Then Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne had the match of the year in 2017. Hell of a match. Tyler Bate, again, one of my favorites of all time. His match was good. Bobby Roode and Hideo Itami. That was the best Roode match of his NXT title reign. That was the best Itami NXT match, I think, ever. I bit like an MFer on the GTS spot that Roode rolled out of the ring for. Great match there.
Yep.
The triple threat with Asuka, Ruby, and Nikki Cross was really good and really well put together, and it was a good midpoint for the Asuka Ember storyline. Instead of having Ember in that match, she was watching, and Asuka looked vulnerable, and it made you think that Ember was going to win, which was cool. And then the main event with the DIY AOP ladder match, top 5 match of the year for 2017. AOP showed out. Paul Ellering took a super kick from Gargano, and it
Stiff one. Oh, that one was stiff.
and it kicked off one of the biggest angles NXT's ever put together. So
The biggest. I'd say
biggest,
that. I'd
yeah,
say the biggest.
yeah, that's fair. So number 2 is the original War Games from November 2017. Again, the War Games match that year was a lot better than this past year's War Games match. I remember being in Discord. We were watching the scoops come in, and the scoop was like, "Oh, Sanity's out to beat up Authors of Pain and beat up Undisputed." And one of my buddies was joking. He's like, "Oh, yeah, they'll be in War Games." Next scoop, William Regal announces War Games, and then we lose our minds. That was great. The first instance of Velveteen Dream stealing a show against Aleister Black. One of the best straight singles matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Amos winning the title for McIntyre in a banger.
Yeah, and he broke his arm.
Yeah. I tweeted this like last week or 2 weeks ago about how I undervalued Drew McIntyre's NXT run.
He's pretty good.
He had some really good matches. Yeah. I just didn't want to see him fight Bobby Roode in the main event of TakeOver that year, or main event of Brooklyn that year.
Oh, that was...
But what happened after was...
It was fine.
Cole.
Yeah, it made up for it. So
It did.
the 4-way for the vacant women's title where Ember Moon won. That was really well put together.
Wasn't it the triple the triple eclipse?
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Yeah. Then the opener was Lars and Ono. Really good 5-minute match. Really hard hitting. Made Lars look like $1 million. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Speaking of, he's in NXT UK now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I saw that.
What's going on?
It doesn't matter. It's Ono.
What's going on?
He's going to retire and just be a trainer anyway.
That's
So
fine.
Yeah. Please.
yeah. Yeah.
My apologies.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Even the tapings before War Games were great because they had Gargano and Dunn for the UK title.
Yeah,
And
that was the first time. That was the only time you've seen that. I
Yeah.
believe.
And it had Ruby Riott versus Sonya Deville, which was another good match. Just going off because you were talking about NXT UK, we watched last night. They aired in full the match where Noam Dar and Mark Andrews injure each other on the same spot.
Yeah.
We watched that.
That was
last
interesting.
night. Yeah.
That was interesting. I was like,
Yeah. And the greatest NXT TakeOver of all time, the greatest professional wrestling event of all time, TakeOver New Orleans.
Thank you.
But I have like 2 or 3 of New Orleans matches on my list for
Me too.
the matches of all time.
it makes sense.
The ladder match is the best ladder match of all time. Gargano Ciampa won. If the story ended there, would be probably second or third greatest match of all time. And the women's match with Baszler and Moon, they killed each other out there for that. The moment with Roddy turning and joining the Undisputed Era was great.
After Cole had gone through then they put him through the table when he was out for the match. It was really good.
And then Alistair and Andrade, amazing match.
That match is undervalued.
Yeah.
Because just how stacked the card was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That match is really undervalued.
Really, really
like
good.
if that was on any other takeover, people would talk about it more.
And to think where those two were a year before at the TakeOver Mania week, getting like the people who were throwing beach balls during the Alistair Andrade match a year before. Then it was the NXT title match a year later, and it was great. So that's it for that part of Top 5 Thursdays. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to get to you with more Top 5 Thursdays, best all-time TakeOver matches. Keep it locked here on Brave New Radio. Welcome back to the last half hour here on Brave New Radio for No Rest Holds for the Weary this week. Dr. Vacatoro is here. We got Jesse Norman, Smoy Rose, and Stephen Clark. We did Top 5 Thursdays about the best NXT takeovers of all time. We're going to get into it a little bit here with the best takeover matches of all time, and I think this is a more difficult list to narrow down than the actual takeovers.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Jesse taking the initiative. Here we go.
All right, number 5, the North American ladder match at New Orleans. It was really good. It's super good, but just hear me. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. I don't need a ladder match most of the time.
Okay. I respect it.
Number 4, very underrated match in my opinion. Didn't get a lot of love because of the card that it was on. Undisputed Era Mustache Mountain Brooklyn 4. Crazy good match. I understand, it's not a ladder match, so it doesn't get all the glitz and glamour of the ladder match in New Orleans, but so good.
Would you want to see Trent Seven climb a ladder?
No,
like realistically, that's not a thing that can happen.
I want to see Tyler Bate do it, but not Trent Seven.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he comes down. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Earthquake.
Kyle O'Reilly's gonna just slither up a ladder. He's not even gonna climb it. He's gonna do some weird
the way Dolph climbs up a ladder.
Yeah, he's gonna do some weird thing.
Oh,
number 3, Gargano versus Almas at Philly. Number 2, Gargano versus Ciampa in New Orleans, and my number 1, Velveteen Dream versus Tommaso Ciampa at War Games 2. There's absolutely nothing I don't love about Dream Tommaso Ciampa at War Games 2. I absolutely love it. I love the whole match. The whole time I'm like, I know Tommaso's going to win. There's, Velveteen, there's no way. And then by the end, I'm like, come on, Velveteen, please, you're right there. You're right there. You have him. He goes to hit the Rainmaker. He hits it. It doesn't matter. Even the end, Tommaso DDTs him onto the steel at War Games. That is not there in any other match.
Yeah.
Using the environment, using the steel, that wouldn't be there at any other showcase, at any other thing. Just brilliant. And then Tommaso, even the aftermatch with Tommaso like kissing him on the forehead, leaving, clapping, it was
Like
it was
he threw the thing at Mauro Ranallo for calling him SOB.
Yeah.
That was really good.
He was like, "You respect the champ." And it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
That's
you know what else was good, Jesse? Your list.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jesse, you just made the list.
Some more. You want to go?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say every takeover match is an honorable mention, but
Yeah, there were a
there's
few
a lot.
stinkers
There's
back
a
in the
lot.
day.
yeah. So like Dream Ciampa barely missed my list. Alistair CN barely missed my list. It's so many things that barely missed my list, like Ricochet and Cole. But number 5, I have a 3-way tie. My list is kind of weird. I'm sorry, because this was really hard to do. So we have Bayley versus Sasha Banks from the OG Brooklyn. Then we have the Revival versus DIY from Toronto in the 2 out of 3 falls match. And then you have Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate at TakeOver Chicago. So there's a 3-way tie for that. All those matches were exceptional. I don't know what to say about them. They're all really good. Number 4, the 6-way ladder match from TakeOver New Orleans. Like Jesse said, it was just so much havoc going on in that match. And there were so many different styles in that match that made it really good. Number 3, I have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn at TakeOver Dallas. This match was really good because it was the first introduction I ever had to Nakamura, because I didn't watch Japan wrestling. Yeah, he was really good at that time, and he cared. So, and you can tell, like, it was subtle details. Like, when he saw that the camera was on me, he winked at the camera before the match started. That was really good. Number 2, this again is weird. I'm sorry. But every single Gargano and Ciampa match, all 3 of them. I couldn't rank all 3
All right,
of them.
you're just throwing them all together.
Yeah. You get that as a trio. And number 1 is Johnny Gargano versus CN. That's
I agree.
debatably the greatest match I've ever seen. That's like up there with Taker and Michaels from WrestleMania 25. Just awesome match.
I've got a hotter take than you on that match, but I agree with that. Good list.
Thank you.
Good list. Stephen Clark.
Okay, so I have about like 8 honorable mentions. So I only wanted to include one Johnny versus Ciampa in my top 5. So the other 2 are in my honorable mentions. Both War Games are in my honorable mentions. Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era is in my honorable mentions, and Takeover Brooklyn. And Zayn and Nakamura. But whatever, okay. Enough of that. Number 5, I have Dream versus Ciampa, Takeover War Games 2. They're all number 1 to me, this list, but I had to put them in some sort of order. But just so good. Like you said, the Ciampa using the steel beam in between, it wouldn't be in any. It's just little things that I love. Little things like that. That anything he had to do to keep Goldie. But another one that no one said yet, actually, is my number 4, which is Gargano versus Black, Takeover War Games 2.
That just missed my list, actually.
Yeah.
I was going to say
that was an honorable mention.
That was my number 6.
Yeah.
And it would have made number 6 for me just off of the spot where Black catches him with his foot, raises him all the way back up, and then says, "You're forgiven for your sins," and does it.
So good. I love Alex.
The suicide dive into the DDT. The suicide dive into the knee. Oh, that match was beautiful.
I wanted to put this match higher, but I just couldn't. But it was so good, so good. My number 3 is my Gargano Ciampa match, which is the first one from TakeOver New Orleans. I like how Johnny got the win in this one because it's like the feel-good story in a way because of we know the whole story. I don't have to explain that, but yeah, that's my 3. My number 2 is the ladder match from New Orleans. It is a lot of cluster, but it's good cluster.
It's controlled cluster.
It's controlled cluster. A lot of good spots. Dream jumping off the ladder and ladders breaking here and there. And Cole, it was for the North American title too. The first match for the North American title. And Cole won, so I like Cole. And I like Cole. And then, of course, number one, Almas versus Johnny, Takeover Philly. Not enough to say. Little things like that, too, with Zelina throwing the DIY shirt.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things just in general because he wasn't there, but when Tommaso Ciampa wasn't there, you still always like felt his impact.
Ciampa came after that and attacked him.
and attacked
The
Johnny.
crowd was so fired during every near fall in that match.
And that really got me hooked on Almas, too.
Yeah.
I really like said, wow, I like this guy. This guy is good. And just like little things, like I said, Zelina throwing the shirt, the DIY shirt, like Champ is still in the back of Johnny's head. His match isn't 100% focused on Almas. He has Champ in the back of his head playing mind games. So little things like that. And plus all the talent between those two and the storytelling they did was just beautiful. Number one.
Their match at Brooklyn 3 was really good, too.
Yeah.
That was an honorable mention for me, too.
That opened the show, right?
That was really, really good.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful.
So I cheated. There have been 132 NXT TakeOver matches of all time. I gave 11 of those matches the full 5. That's 8% of TakeOver matches got the full 5. So I just ranked those 11 matches right there. So here's my top 11. Doesn't really roll off the tongue the way Top 5 Thursdays does.
Nobody else made 11. This isn't.
Well, technically,
Y'all named. You guys
I
named.
just threw out a
Well,
bunch
my
of
list was
matches.
kind of close to 11.
Yeah.
I thought we have 5 spots.
Well, I made it
didn't
ties.
even mention Black and Gargano until Steven brought it up.
So let's
You
consider.
know what, Dante? You're the William Patterson campus police, and we're enforcing the rules finally. Next week, you need to do top 5
What does that even mean?
because they don't enforce the parking rules.
Oh, I get
That
that.
it was a dig at parking.
Now they're not going to open the doors for us in the morning.
They're not listening.
So how about this? How about this? Just consider 6 through 11 honorable mentions.
Fine.
Okay. Number 11, Zayn and Nakamura. The one and only time Nakamura put any energy into his life in NXT or in WWE.
And I was about to say WWE in general. I mean,
Great match, great introduction, Nakamura. Only went down from there. But yeah, I lost my mind during that match. Number 10, Alistair and Johnny. I originally had this match as like a step below Ciampa Dream. Then I watched it with my buddies at the end of the year, and I couldn't breathe because it was that good. Crazy stuff during that whole match. And the whole I absolve you of your sins thing before Alistair kicks him in the head. Poetic. Great stuff. Number 9, one that kind of gets overlooked. The only one here from 2014, Neville versus Zayn from Our Evolution, title versus career. That match was so good the next day on Reddit. People were petitioning to send Triple H fruit baskets because that takeover was so good. And think about how far along we've come since then.
Yeah.
But the culmination of Sami Zayn's title storyline and one of the most succinct matches of all time. Very well put together, and Neville kind of playing the tweener role there where people still liked him, but he was trying to get in Zayn's head because he still wanted to be champ. It was great. And the whole ending thing with Owens turning on him at the very end. Chef's kiss on that one. Number 8, Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne. If Lucha Underground didn't hold off on presenting Hell of War until September of 2017, it was filmed, for those of you who don't know, in June of 2016, but Lucha Underground didn't finish season 3 until 2017 on television. If Hell of War wasn't on TV in 2017, this would have been the match of the year for 2017, far and away. I talked about it when I talked about TakeOver Chicago, but hell of a match. Great exposure for Bate and Dunne in America, and that was the last time Pete Dunne lost the title match in the WWE banner.
Until this upcoming Saturday.
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday. Oh, you're right.
well, not this upcoming. Next upcoming.
I'm just all over
It's
the place.
Thursday.
Number 7, the match of the year from 2016. 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT Tag Team titles. DIY versus the Revival. Perfect match. No way to describe it any other way. 2 teams with great chemistry, doing a lot of really cool stuff with what they did. That was what, number 7? Number 6, the first Gargano Ciampa from New Orleans. I nudged at this a few minutes ago. If this was the end of the story, this is like number 2 or number 3. But not that it devalued this match, but the story of this particular match isn't as strong. The fact that they kept going with it. If it was just Johnny conquering his demons with Ciampa and moving on with his life, it would have been a lot better overall.
But that could not happen.
You said Johnny conquering, and it sounded like Johnny Cochran. I just wanted to let that be known.
Okay. Thank you for letting it be known, though. Now we move on to the top 5. Number 5, North American title ladder match. Takeover New Orleans.
Spot. See, that's what I'm talking about. It was good, but it was
That's why it wasn't my number 1.
Real big cluster. Didn't feel like 36 minutes, but it was 36 minutes.
Wow.
I watched it like a week ago, and I was like, wow, that was quick. And that was 36 minutes.
Yeah. One of the cool little things that I noticed the second time or third time I watched it was how much that they were taking care of each other. Like, there would be big spots. Like, Lars put Velveteen through the ladder, and then Lars, like, nudged Velveteen just to make sure he was okay. It's like that kind of camaraderie, like
when Velveteen did the big elbow, the ref was holding the ladder.
Yeah. A lot of really ridiculous spots, and it was
That Dream Valley driver did the Ricochet hurt.
really innovative match.
That really
yeah.
hurts me.
Ricochet's first thing that he does in the company is like a springboard shooting star. Is like, okay, thanks for coming, pal.
I always saw his like flippy stuff with Will Ospreay. I'm like, all right, whatever. But then I saw him come. I saw him come to WWE and do it. I'm like, yeah, this guy's real.
Ricochet improved so much under the WWE banner.
Within the year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Number 4, the match of the year from 2015, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, NXT Women's Title match. For some, the Kickstarter for the women's evolution. Obviously, the first time we saw that little horsewomen pose together, it felt like the biggest deal.
This from Brooklyn, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Their match from Takeover Respect's great too.
Yeah.
And that only built off of what this match did.
Just a little dull. Little dull.
A little.
It's an Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Iron Woman, excuse me.
Yeah. No, they called it an Iron Man match.
Did they?
They did call it an Iron Man match.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that reverse round is crazy.
Yeah.
That reverse round is crazy.
The whole story, like Sasha working over Bayley's hand, and like when she's in the bank statement and going to the ropes, Sasha stomping on the hand. Great stuff. And yeah, that was for a lot of people the match that convinced them like women's wrestling is worth investing in. And look at where we are now with the women main eventing WrestleMania. So really good on them for that performance, obviously. Number 2, I'm just waiting to find the theme song. I'm on my phone right now trying to sync up the theme songs
to each match.
You're nuts. Number 2 is number 3, I'm sorry, is Gargano Ciampa from Chicago 2. The best, I think the best match of their trilogy. Built up.
You like Chicago 2 over New Orleans?
Yeah. Again, if New Orleans was the end of that feud,
I see.
Okay.
Yeah,
it'd be better.
Yeah, I see. I see what you
but
mean.
Chicago built over New Orleans, and they had just as much story stuff. But the fact I really loved the idea, like Johnny was in control, but he let his emotions get the better of him, and it cost him because he went too far.
Yeah, I do love the story of Johnny can beat Tommaso in a wrestling match. He can't beat him in a fight.
Yeah. Ciampa finding his way to win with handcuffs on him. Ciampa spitting on Johnny's ring and throwing it into the crowd is a great moment
He made him
there.
handcuffed twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
It wasn't even like that Johnny couldn't beat Ciampa. It's like Johnny couldn't beat Johnny.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that eventually leading into Ciampa winning the NXT title on TV was great. With Johnny costing Black.
I wish we would have got that triple threat.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I was
triple,
going to bring that up after. Yeah.
that triple threat would have been
Imagine
fire.
where this match would have been on our top 5 if we got Alistair, Johnny, Ciampa.
It would definitely been up there.
I was pissed too because I wanted to take over Brooklyn for it, but I still got a good match out of it.
Yeah. And we got the murder mystery out of it that led to Black and Gargano.
What a good story that
I'm
they
right here.
literally made up on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Like,
so
who done
good.
it?
Yeah,
and
when
then Nikki Cross adding
when he
to
took
it.
out all the people when he came, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Number 2, Dream and Ciampa. These the top 2 are the 2 greatest matches in the history of pro wrestling, as far as I'm concerned. So this is number 2, second greatest match in the history of wrestling. If you're coming up and you think you're going to be a big deal, you should study Velveteen Dream because the things that he does in big matches, people just don't understand how to do. He was my wrestler of the year last year. purely because of this match. This match set me over the top with him. Everything in that match, from the moment that Ciampa throws the papers at Mauro Ranallo, to Dream throwing him back in the ring and then hitting the Rainmaker and kick out, and Ciampa jumps to the ropes and Dream does a stupid elbow from the top rope to the ground, hits his elbow on the ground, yells out an expletive that they have to bleep out on air. Ciampa rolls him in and hits that DDT again on the middle portion there, wins, and then like the lasting moments of Ciampa on top of Dream, who's like dead on the mat, and Ciampa's just yelling, me, and it's so good. It's so good. Such great. Even when Ciampa's boot gets thrown into the crowd.
Yeah.
And he beat him with his sock on. He finds a way to beat people with handcuffed socks on.
I miss him.
I love it. Second greatest match of all time. Number one, greatest match in the history of pro wrestling. Almas Gargano. Nothing will ever come close to this. This is the best wrestling could get. Not just in terms of in ring. I could kind of understand people being like, it was very good, but I don't think it's the greatest of all. I can understand that in ring wise, but throw the story and the backstory into it, and you have the greatest match of all time. I don't think you really have to try, and you have to have a lot of moving parts work to get the backstories and the builds of the two character arcs with Almas and Gargano into a match like that again. Almas coming in as the guy who no one cared about, who got "You Can't Wrestle" chants on TV, who had to turn heel because nobody cared about him, who was like not taking his job seriously, and then Zelina Vega comes in and changes him, and he beats Gargano and he wins the title, and now he has to prove that he's not just a fluke, versus Gargano, who the whole year prior has to try to prove to himself that he isn't just Tommaso Ciampa, and he was struggling for months and months, and now he finally finds his footing, finally finds himself, and it comes together in that match. The greatest match of all time, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So that's the end of my my top fives there. Almas Gargano is the greatest match of all time. I just said that a lot, but it's true. It's true. It's
up there.
You're right.
It's up there.
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Do you think there's any matches from this takeover that's going to be?
Do I? Right now, I told my buddies this last night. If Dream Riddle does what I think it's going to do, I might give it 6 stars for the hell of it.
I'm surprised you didn't give anything 6 stars on your normal.
I don't give anything higher than 5 because it's stupid.
Oh, you don't like making a scale just to break it?
And then claiming 30 years ago I gave something else 6 stars. So no, I don't.
And never going back and regrading anything?
Nope. Yeah, so
interesting.
I think Dream Riddle definitely has a potential. It's gonna bang anyway, but like if it
the tag match.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was about to say.
Walter and Dunn for the first time ever too. First time they ever wrestled a singles.
And how many matches? There's 5 matches.
There's 5.
Guys, we didn't even just say Cole and Gargano.
That match is gonna be that match is gonna be classic.
So because we're probably gonna take a lot of time next week predicting WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to predict Takeover right now with our last 10 minutes?
Ooh,
let's do it.
Smart man.
Dream Riddle.
Riddle. Dream is so good that Dream can lose these matches, and he normally does, but it doesn't affect
It's for
him.
the title, right?
Yeah.
And he just got the title, so I don't.
I think Dream.
I think.
I don't know.
Too.
I don't know if they want Riddle to lose yet. I don't know.
That's my problem. I don't know if Riddle loses here,
They could build him up for Brooklyn or for Toronto.
But if Riddle loses here, he stays in this program with Dream, and he probably still keeps going for the North American Championship.
I don't know.
Maybe. But if Dream loses, he goes straight for that NXT championship.
And him and
or
Cole.
he moves up.
So that's
the thing too. Is again like that 5-way number 1 contenders match from last week. Besides Matt Riddle, who hasn't been around long enough to have singles feuds with these guys, the only singles feud that you could have made out of the remaining 4 competitors that hasn't been on Takeover yet was Cole and Dream.
And I think that's
that could be the direction.
That's fine.
That's what I think they're. If Dream loses, that has to be the direction that they're
There's
going.
plenty of time for him to lose the title too before.
Yeah.
Well,
SummerSlam.
and it all depends on like when they want to move guys up and everything.
Yeah.
But I think I also don't think Dream ever needed the title. I think
You're
they
right.
Not
needed
at
to
all.
get it off Johnny because if they were going to do the call up,
Yeah.
they can't have him still holding the belt and then take over. Everybody already knows that he's losing, but. Dream doesn't need that belt. Dream doesn't need anything. Dream can lose from this point out his next 6 takeover matches,
He'll
and
be
it
fine.
doesn't hurt him at all.
He's only
Technically,
won like one or
He beat
twice.
EC3.
Technically, Riddle doesn't need it either
Yeah,
at the current
Yeah.
moment.
I don't think Riddle needs it, but I think it can help.
It would establish him-
him.
it would establish him a little more.
and it'll establish more to the audience that like, hey, this is one of our big guys. Like this is the next cream of the crop that we're probably going to build up.
Just think too, if Ciampa didn't get hurt, this would have been a triple threat with Cole.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should have been nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, should have been
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh yeah.
So Dream's my pick.
Dream.
Yeah.
Riddle.
Oh,
Riddle.
Oh, 2-2. We gotta get a fifth person. We gotta bring back Joey Greco. He's gotta break the tie. Friend of the show, Joey Greco, ladies and gentlemen. NXT tag team titles: War Raiders and Alistair
War
Ricochet.
Raiders.
War
War
Raiders.
Raiders.
But this match is going to be fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a different level of fire, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be really good.
phenomenal.
You know the move where they throw him up and do the power slam?
Ricochet might do something
Ricochet's
crazy
gonna do
out
like
of that.
Like a
backflip
like
in
a
midair.
hurricane run. Oh,
Yeah.
I just need to see something crazy.
Oh my god! Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
So if
I just thought it can't happen because like they can't lose. But imagine like a Hurricanrana from Ricochet
To a black
into
mass.
a black mass
Oh,
from
my-
Aleister Black.
it could
Like,
be a near
just-
fall
like,
spot.
One, I think if it wouldn't be a near fall, I think whoever gets hit has to be not the legal man, or he gets hit so hard he like goes over the top rope or
Oh,
something.
Like the other guy could break up the pin.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like you can't have him like
Now-
kick out of it.
Now
but
here's
like,
my thing: is this their swan song?
Yes.
Or
yes.
They told the NXT crowd after they won the
I know,
Dusty
I know.
that this was the last taping.
But somebody can turn, then you can have.
I don't
wouldn't-
think
Yeah,
NXT
they're
needs
both,
it,
they're
though.
They're
both
both
up
too-
on the main roster.
They're
too. I
working
don't-
Mania.
They're working
Yeah,
Mania.
they're not sending them.
But
back
if they
down.
weren't working Mania, I would turn one of
Yeah.
them and get a program.
Yeah, I
'Cause that would
understand
be
that.
Alistair, it'd be
crazy.
Alistair.
That would be crazy.
A heel Alistair would. Well, I mean, Alistair is like this weird, like he's not face, not heel.
No man is
he's-
ever truly good. No
yeah,
man is
he-
ever truly evil.
He's just got a moral code that's pretty cool.
As long as a Raw Tag Title match gets announced, Alistair Ricochet would join Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin for Mania 32 weekend and Killian Dane for Mania 33 weekend as the only NXT people to work Takeover and Mania in the same weekend.
Good for them.
Dane is the only one to do back-to-back nights, though, because Takeover was on Friday in 2016.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. I hope that happens for their sake. They'll probably win the Raw Tag Titles.
Probably.
So
Yeah.
UK Championship done, Walter. This match gonna slap.
Literally.
Walter.
Slap.
Literally.
They've got it. They've got it. Dunn's held that belt
Yeah.
for so long, and this is the first time it feels like it's ready to be moved on to.
Yeah.
His promo was so convincing. He's like, "This belt is mine, and nobody's taking it." I'm gonna say Walter.
Me too, Walter.
Is there any doubt in your mind that maybe Dunn wins here so they do the title change on a UK takeover?
Yeah, there's a chance. Definitely.
There's a chance, but I don't know how.
Not likely.
But
I don't
think-
know how soon the UK takeover.
I don't know. They
and
haven't
that's
announced
what I'm
anything.
And my
saying,
thing is,
like-
it would make no sense to put this match on the card if it wasn't going to be a change or something, or something crazy.
Because
I
how
get that.
often is it on the card,
Yeah.
the UK title? Barely.
It was only ever on
Once.
that one
Once,
time where
there you
Dunn
go.
won the title.
And it was on. It's been on tapings before.
It's on a couple of post.
like I know it was on.
tapings, yeah.
It was on a few. It was on Brooklyn. What 4 or 3?
Yeah, Dunn and Gibson was on Brooklyn
and
4.
then they did it at War Games 1.
Yeah.
So it was on a few different tapings
Yeah.
before.
I don't know when the next UK takeover would be. They haven't announced anything like gearing towards that yet. They're just kind of building time. I do think Dunn is going to win, or not Dunn. I think Walter's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to wait until the UK for a title change there. So
Yeah, I mean, I think if it all comes down to the Riddle and Dream match too for me, because if Dream holds on to the belt and him and Riddle still stay doing their thing, if Gargano and Cole is really just like this is it and it's done, I could see Pete Dunne losing, then shifting right into the NXT Championship one too, because
he'd be on NXT.
Yeah, I would move him to just NXT, give him a run in NXT for 6 months a year, and then he could be main roster.
Yeah.
I want him to be main roster.
So if he loses the UK Championship, Gargano done or a Cole done, a Cole and Dunn callback kind of thing to the Dunn versus the Undisputed Era, I think would be interesting.
We've got 4 minutes left here. 4-way for the women's championship: Baszler, Sane, Shirai, Belair. I'm going Bianca.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm thinking
too.
Bianca. I think Shayna's got to be getting called up.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's somebody other than Shayna.
They've been predicting Shayna getting called up for a year now because she's so ready.
Right.
Like especially if Ronda's leaving, Shayna can fill that
easily.
I'm more intimidated by Shayna Baszler than Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler is scary.
I'd rather get beat up by Ronda.
Yeah, I would rather. I'd be like, Ronda would probably give me some type of mercy. Shayna would kill me.
Yeah. So I'm going with Bianca too. I think.
Just somebody other than
hard,
Shayna.
though.
I'm not sure who to pick though.
I'm gonna go Bianca. Everybody else is pretty established.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie doesn't need the belt. She's beaten Baszler.
She's already been champion.
A big thing of Kyrie's story too was the Shayna Baszler aspect.
Yeah.
So if it's a 4-way, Kyrie Sane winning doesn't really do much.
No.
I think Kyrie's the least likely. I think Io would be the next likely. I think I think Shayna before Io, because unless they want Shayna to win against all odds and then lose to Io in a singles. That's the only other thing I could think maybe.
They might be called up as a tag team too. Io.
I think too they might work Sasha and Bailey at the next takeover for the women's tag titles.
That's very possible.
That's cool.
They have to get that match in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then finally, Gargano, Cole, 2-3 falls NXT Championship.
Cole.
I like Cole for this.
Because if Gargano's ever going to get the championship, it has to be in a Tommaso Ciampa
Ciampa
match.
has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah, I feel like they might give it to Gargano, but I feel like it would be a little less hollow. It would be a little more hollow than if he won it from Ciampa.
If this was the original match, I'd pick
It would be Gargano. Yeah.
Yeah, Gargano would definitely win if it was the original match.
The only way I could see them giving it to Gargano and then it paying off is Gargano wins it. He develops a close personal bond with the belt, and then Tommaso Ciampa costs him it again, and then they kind of build back that, like, not with Black, but like the Black Tommaso Ciampa and
do
Gargano.
it with Cole?
Do it with like Cole or do it with somebody like that. Like that's the only thing that I could think of to give Gargano it now, because like then it still feels like it's not his coronation moment. You know, he didn't beat Tommaso Ciampa, but then he wins.
Panama Sunrise for the victory.
Oh,
Very
I
possible.
like it. All right, well, that was our 9th episode, No Rest Holds for the Weary. Next week is week 10 already, and it's going to be a big week. We're going to have to predict WrestleMania. We're going to talk about whatever happens on Raw and SmackDown. Probably have WrestleMania-centric top 5 Thursdays if we even get to it, because Mania is going to be
We might not.
a cluster of a thing to talk about.
Predictions are going to take a while.
Yeah. Thank you for all you listening at home, at work, or on the toilet. Be sure to catch out our replay on our Twitter account at NoRestBNR. It'll probably be up around 10 o'clock. For Samori Rose, for Stephen Clark, and for Jesse Norman, I'm Dante Vacatoro. Thank you for listening. And remember, we're up this early because there's no rest holds for the weary.
Wake up. The strong don't sleep.
Hang out with me, Dante Vacatoro, and my cast of characters on No Rest Holds for the Weary. Wake up and listen to fans talking wrestling every Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. only on Brave New Radio.
And remember, we're up this early because there's no rest holds for the